The rain has cleared and we are ready for football at LP Field. The Tennessee Titans taking on the Washington Redskins tonight. The Redskins have won the toss. That means Mike Munchak's squad will kick off as they go for their 12th consecutive victory in the preseason at LP Field. On the other side, of course, Mike Shanahan, the veteran head coach of the Washington Redskins. Kicking off tonight for the Titans, Maikon Benoni. And you may not have heard of him because he just got here, guys, as he's kicking for Rob Baronis, who's got a bit of a back issue and should be fine in the coming weeks. Niles Paul back to return deep for the Redskins. Benoni's kick is 8 yards deep, and Paul is coming out. Dragged down about the 18-yard line by Patrick Bailey. Let's head to the sideline now for the fourth member of our team. That's Dawn Davenport.
Hey guys, safety Bernard Pollard is a big part of that culture change on the defense that Keith talked about. He's our Gatorade primed to perform player, and Pollard is an open book. He keeps his termination letter from the Ravens in his locker as extra motivation. Mike Munchak says that's an example of a guy who's full of passion, who talks from his heart, the kind of accountable leader they lacked on this defense. Pollard tells me he's embracing that role on this defense. Watch him because he's going to be physical tonight.
Thank you, Dawn. Roy Halu Jr. gets the first carry of the ball game, and he's stopped after a short gain. The quarterback tonight for the Washington Redskins, of course, is Kirk Cousins. Last season, got some limited playing time after Robert Griffin III was hurt, and he is still rehabbing from that torn ACL. So Cousins is the starter for the foreseeable future here in the preseason for the Redskins. That was a gain of 2, setting up 2nd and 8. Another run play. Halu to the right side. Jason McCourty and Derek Morgan are there, setting up a 3rd and 5. Let's take a look at the Washington Redskins and the Ford starting lineups. On offense, Morris and Young in the backfield. Morgan, Garcon, and Davis are the receivers and the tight end. Up front, Williams, Lichtensteiger, Montgomery, Chester, and Tyler Columbus. 3rd and we'll call it 4 for the Redskins, and we'll see if the Titans can get a 3 and out in their first defensive set of the season. It looks like they've gone to a nickel package. Cousins completes for a first down. Alteron Werner was right there, but it's good enough to move the chains. Let's look at our Titans starting lineup on the defensive side of the football up front. We'll get to that in a moment. 1st and 10 for the Redskins now after a nice ball by Kirk Cousins. Sets them up at the 35-yard line. Play action. Pressure's on, and it's a short pass complete. Werner makes another tackle, and the Titans had some good pressure up the middle. Let's take a look at our forward starting lineup for the Tennessee Titans on defense. Morgan, Hill, Casey, and Wembley up front. Sammy Hill, a huge addition to that defensive line. Ayers Foku starts tonight for Colin McCarthy. He tweaked a hamstring. Zach Brown, the other linebacker. Werner, Pollard, Griffin, and McCourty are the secondary. And we have whistles on the field as the officiating crew is going to talk something over with Mike Munchak.
Tennessee is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
Well, it looked like Werner got in there and stripped the ball out, but just have to question, guys, if he was ever established possession of the football. We've got a couple of looks at it.
He definitely makes the catch. It looks like he made a football move. Got 2 feet down, made 2 steps. I think it's completed pass. You have to see if he has full control of the ball, which it looks like he does. And then it looks like it's a fumble at the end.
Absolutely. But that's also the competition that Mike Munchak has been stressing. You know, Werner, he gave up a little 2-yard pass, but he played to the end. He fought for that play and was able to cause a fumble. Let's see how they rule it on the field.
Guys, Werner's in for a fight right now. I mean, they've been drafting to replace him for years, and he has held on to that position, and he's getting a challenge from Tommy Campbell. He's getting a challenge from Cody Sensabaugh, and now this year they drafted Bleedy Ray Wilson in the 3rd round, and he's going to get a challenge from him as well. You've got some motivated guys at that right cornerback position.
He definitely do.
Well, that's what this game is about. It's about competition. You know, every year you have to go out there and prove yourself, and obviously the coaches feel that they need more competition at that cornerback position. So he's getting the start tonight. Just hope that he could, win the starting spot.
Awfully early to burn the challenge.
Yeah, it is.
I
For
know
a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain, I might have held that one, but hey,
I
I'm not
wouldn't
a
have
coach.
either. But, I guess he wants to preseason. He wants to get into the flow. This is management. I don't think if it was the regular season game, I don't think he would be challenging this.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Coach Munchak in his third season, 15-17 after 2 years. That's a 9-7 and a 6-10. You know what other head coach was 15-17 after 2 years?
No, hold on, let me think.
No, you tell me.
Jeff Fisher?
Jeff Fisher it is.
I never thought that.
I mean, I was going to say that, but I feel like that was just too obvious.
Well, he's going to tee you up that way. That's how
of
Corey operates.
Layup.
Layups, softballs.
Alley-oop.
Right?
You're my guys. I want to make you look good.
Hey, thank you.
The officials continue to give this 3-yard gain a hard look over.
Yeah, they want to get it absolutely correct because this is a differentiator in who wins this ball game tonight. This will make a difference.
It's the preseason for everybody, from the booth to the sideline to the field. And it looks like we've got our call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field, pass is incomplete.
Okay.
A victory for Mike
Receiver did not
Munchak.
maintain control of the ball in the process of going to the ground. Police put 13:09 on the game clock. Tennessee is not charged with a timeout.
Walt Anderson is our referee tonight, and he had that call. And it's now 2nd and long, which is obviously a more optimal defensive situation for Tennessee. One back in the backfield for Cousins. Long count, and it's a handoff to Halu. Popped hard at the 38-yard line. Like Foku was over there.
Wearing 53.
And so was Zach Brown.
Yeah, that was a nice dunk. You see, Moses scraped over the top, came down, laid that hit. You got to get to the point of attack and bring an attitude. And you saw that he brought that, and he let the running back know that he's going to be here all game. That's what you like to see, and that's what Mike Munchak said that his defense needs to do this year.
They've been talking about Moses Foku since they signed him, and Colin McCarthy is in a fight, and this is a guy who was a defensive captain last year. 3rd and long. Cousins over the middle. That's going to be close. Leonard Hankerson with the catch, and it looks like he's going to be about a half a yard short by the mark.
You mentioned they're going to be in a fight. When you have a season like the Titans had last season, everybody's on call. I mean, coaching staff, linebackers, cornerbacks, doesn't matter. Nobody has a safe job here. So everybody's up for competition, and that's what we're seeing tonight. And a good job to get off the field here. Titans are going to get the ball here.
Yeah, and that's what Mike Munchak was talking about when we met with him. He was talking about getting 3 and outs, getting his defense used to getting off the field. He said he would like his defense to play 25 snaps, but if they get 3 and outs, then that's a win for him.
A nice tackle by Zach Brown, and a nice applause just now for Mark Mariani, who's back after that horrific leg injury to return a punt. The delay of game penalty against the Redskins will back it up 5 more. Guys, frankly, Mike Munchak did not expect Mark Mariani to be out there week 1 of the preseason after suffering a compound fracture of his right leg last year against the Cardinals. But here he stands after 12 brutal months of rehab. The punt hits at the 30 and goes out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, where the Titans offense will take over 1st and 10. Jake Locker and that revamped offensive line are set to go. We've got No Score. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you by Beeman Automotive. No score at LP Field. Titans defense has left the field, and the offense has taken over with quarterback Jake Locker back as its starting quarterback. Jake battled a couple of shoulder injuries last year, on his way to 2,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. 1st and 10, and there he goes to Chris Johnson running up over the right side as the Titans immediately run right behind first-round pick Chance Warmack.
I had a chance to talk to offensive coordinator Dowell Loggins a couple days ago, and he really wants to get back to that Mike Heimerdinger philosophy where you're going to see them coming downhill, running to the short side of the field, trying to hit the edges with CJ, and try to work the field short to long to get Jake Locker into some type of rhythm.
2nd and long, about 8 yards. Play action. Locker over the middle to Kenny Britt. It's deflected and falls incomplete. Let's take a look at your Ford starting lineups on the other side of the ball for the Tennessee Titans on offense. Backs and receivers. Chris Johnson, Quinn Johnson, no relation. Kenny Britt, Nate Washington, and Craig Stevens is your tight end. On the offensive line, Ruse Levitri with his $46 million contract. Rob Turner's a new acquisition. Chance Warmack and Mike Otto starts tonight for David Stewart. 3rd and 8 for Jake Locker, who's got 3 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Locker swarmed in the pocket and dropped for a sack. He was sacked 25 times a year ago as the Titans go 3 and out on their first of the season as Ryan Kerrigan gets the sack for the Redskins.
And that's not what you want to see. They applied pressure with a 4-man rush. It looked like Bruce got beat on the inside and sacked Jake Locker, and that's not what you want to see. A 4-man rush. You're supposed to hold that up and allow him to deliver that ball down the field.
Brett Kern is on to punt for Tennessee. Richard Crawford is deep to return. Wobbly kick, but Kern to the right side, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, close to the 40. So the Titans go 3 and out, and the Redskins are back on offense. We still have no score. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you by Beeman Automotive Group. 4 at LP Field between the Titans and Redskins, but we are early. Over 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. There's Mike Shanahan, the head coach of the Washington Redskins. You see the first 2 years, not so good, but last year they finished with 7 consecutive wins, going 10-6 and making it to the NFC playoffs. Shanahan 167 career victories, an 8-6 career playoff record, and of course most of that success came with a guy who wore number 7 at quarterback.
Oh, and Terrell Davis, number 30.
TD.
TD.
At the 36-yard lines, it's 1st and 10 for Kirk Cousins, who's 2 for 3 so far. Titans shuffling around the line of scrimmage. Cousins to the sideline. Jason McCourty pushes Joshua Morgan out of bounds. Before the game, this is another good sign for the Redskins, who've lost Robert Griffin III to a torn ACL in that playoff game. Looks pretty good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, everybody looks good in shorts, you know.
He's wearing more than shorts,
it's amazing, though. He's coming up with a knee injury. You had a knee injury. How hard is that to do, coming back from a knee injury like less than a year?
Bootleg for Cousins. It's complete to Morgan again. Big hit on the sideline, and Bernard Pollard has drawn his first 15-yard penalty of the season.
And that is absolutely ridiculous. That's a nice play, way to emphasize the no-fly zone, meaning Pollard coming down and laying a big stick. That's what you like. There's nothing wrong with that. He was going out a little bit, but so what?
That's on our sideline, and we have a hard time from our vantage point seeing exactly where he is, but you can see he's a full step out of bounds. But that's what Bernard Pollard is all about.
But they don't want players launching at other players. You know, that's the one thing that's being emphasized this year is leading with the head, the shoulder, but launching, leaving your feet for the player. So we've seen exactly how they're calling it this year as far as officiating.
1st and 10, Halu. Big hit over there at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. Zach Brown flying around, Moses flying around, Fauquois flying around. You like to see that. I like that 53 moving out there. Big job, homie.
Let's listen to this one.
That's what I noticed at practice last week. They couldn't be real physical, but now they come out here in a preseason game, they get to throw their bodies around, and it's all-out football.
That's Bernard Pollard, and that's Greg Williams gearing up that Titans defense. 2nd down, 7 to go. Pitch to Halu. Back up the middle. Dropped about the 20-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd and short. Titans have already started to shuffle some defensive linemen. Zach Clayton has come into the game. Big Mookie is back. Antonio Johnson, former draft pick of the Titans, is back on the field. Spent about 5 years with the Colts. Signed as a free agent. And he replaces Sammy Hill. So one 330-pounder replaces another. Keith, you had some time with Big Mookie.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a young guy. He hurt his knee. He rehabbed to get back. And then he went to Indianapolis and had a great career. And now he's back with Tennessee.
3rd and short. Cousins to throw. hits his man, and that's another first down. Fred Davis, the veteran tight end, will move the chains.
Well, this is a good situation for the Titans. You know, they get to have a team actually drive on them. Just because they get down here in the red zone inside the 10-yard line does not mean they have to score. That's one thing that we always emphasize is just because they're down here doesn't mean they have to get points.
Jerry Gray said the difference between last year and other years was 7 points versus 3, and they're going for 3 here. So first and goal from about the 10. It's another hand to Halu. He's down to the 5, bounces off Pollard, down close to the goal line.
And the Redskin running game is coming straight at the teeth of the defense for the Tennessee Titans. And I know Mike Munchak and defensive coordinator Jerry Gray really wanted to beef up the defensive front, bringing in some big bodies, and they are attacking them right where they wanted to have their strength.
Well, Eddie, this is the #1 rushing offense in the NFL last year. They averaged 169 yards a game behind Robert Griffin III and Alfred Morris, and they are taking it to that Titans defensive line to get started.
Alfred Morris isn't even playing, and
it's
the third string running back. So I don't know what that says about the Titans defense right now.
Well, we've got a timeout on the field, and we've still got no score. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. Defensive line coach Tracy Rocker, not a happy guy. His up front unit costing the Titans a timeout there, as it looks like they were struggling to get the right personnel grouping on the field. They had to get Carl Klug to the sideline.
Going to see how the Titans defense reacts to their first adversity of the season.
So far, 6 carries for 22 yards for Halu. Second down and goal. Halu's still the tailback. Play action. Back over the middle for a touchdown. Fred Davis from Kirk Cousins, and the Redskins are on the board.
I see 2 linebackers in the vicinity. I don't know until we see the replay exactly what the situation was, but Fred Davis was wide open in the back of the end zone.
We got a flag at the end of the play. I think it's going to be for celebration.
Yeah, it's a basic play action pass that, you know, is infamous in the NFL. Bootleg, quarterback finds the guy in the flat or the back of the end zone.
Eddie, did you ever get a celebration penalty?
Nah, I wasn't. So I mean, listen, you got to act like you've been there before. It wasn't new to me. It really wasn't. Maybe for Keith, you know, who wanted to do the what was your celebration?
I ain't have no. I throw the ball in the stands anytime I get it in my hands. You know, if you go to a baseball game, you get to catch fly balls. Why not come to a football game and possibly get a football?
The point after is up and good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. Keith, did you ever score a touchdown?
I scored like 6 or 7.
Wow. Kirk Cousins gets his squad on the board. It's 7-0 Redskins. You're watching Titans Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. The Washington Redskins, with Kirk Cousins at quarterback, take a 7-0 lead at LP Field. Fred Davis hauls it in, a 7-play, 49-yard drive, 3 minutes, 13 seconds, and that touchdown pass to Davis was 3 yards. And now the Redskins, after the penalty, will kick off from their own 20-yard line, and Darius Raynaud will line up at about the Titans' 10.
It's going to be an interesting battle between Raynaud and Mark Mariani as this preseason goes on. See who's really going to stick on this roster because they both bring value.
Kai Forbath kicks to the 20. Raynaud already across the 30. Surging across the 40-yard line, and Jake Blocker and the Titans offense are in business. We can expect to see the starters play 20 to 25 plays, and after a 3-and-out, that means they've got about 17 to 20 to go.
Yeah, you'd like to see them come out and put together a good drive. You know, the defense got an opportunity to go out there and play some defense in a long drive, so you'd like to see Jake and the offense come out and put some points on the board.
And gain some confidence. You want to see him get confidence.
Chris Johnson, the only man in the backfield, and he gets the football. Cuts it back, and he's got room. CJ with the move at the 45, and you can't forget about it. He is gone. Chris Johnson to the house, 58 yards, and the Titans have tied it up.
That was beautiful. Talk about the shake and bake at the 50-yard line.
Well, first of all, The reason he made the cut back was because of the offensive line. Found the cutback lane, got him one-on-one with the safety, cut back to the inside, and when you give a guy like Chris Johnson that much space, he is lethal. And it paid off dividends right here. Beautiful job by Chris Johnson and the offensive line establishing that lane, the backside.
Guys, Bakari Rambo didn't stand a chance.
I mean, that's a tough situation to be in. A defender in the open field with a guy like CJ2K. Look, he took his best shot and you saw what happened.
What we saw was a 58-yarder, something the Titans think they're going to see a lot of this season with that new offensive line.
And not only that, it's the philosophy, going back to the Heimerdinger philosophy. It was the illusion to get the edge, cut back. That's what CJ was used to doing when he got to 2,000 yards a few years back. He was able to get his speed to the outside, and he was able to find those lanes backside. And when you get that guy one-on-one in space, he's phenomenal.
And then also, what it also does, you see it was a stretch running play that allows them to come back to the play action pass. So you can see the Heimerdinger philosophy being brought in just right now. And obviously with that run that CJ made, you know, you give the credit to the offensive line, but Chris had to make some moves with his feet to get pay dirt.
Guys, Chris Johnson has 6 80-yard touchdowns in his career. That's double the next highest total in NFL history. Okay?
That's insane.
It's Jamal Charles, Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders, Amon Green, Hugh McElhaney, and O.J. Simpson all have 3. He's got 6. 45-yard touchdown runs, he's got 12. 12 already. Barry Sanders has the most ever with 18. Jim Brown has 13.
You ever go 80?
With 76.
Oh, all right.
Did you get caught?
That's not 80, but that's a good. That's still, you still was moving.
The kick heads into the stands, and the Redskins will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Eddie, look at that list. Titans' career rushing leaders: Edward Nathan George, numero uno; Earl Campbell, number 2, and with the big year, CJ could pass him.
Yeah, if he gets that 2,000-yard mark that he aspires to get, he can definitely surpass that, and he looks awful good here tonight. The Titans can do that all season long. Could be a big year for the offense and CJ.
Rex Grossman's in at quarterback, and Halu is taken down in the backfield. Derek Morgan, the defensive end, makes the play.
Good play by Derek Morgan. That's somebody that they would like to see hit their stride this year. You know, he just kind of stayed with it. And that's what you want to see in the third year. You want to see those guys from their second to third year make their jump, because in year 3 is when, look, you're not thinking anymore. You're just out there playing.
Derek's lost a little weight. I think he's a little bit quicker. He had 6.5 sacks last season, led the team, really came on the back half of last season. Grossman to throw, behind his man, and it drops incomplete. He was looking for Leonard Hankerson and just deflected off his fingertips, and it's 3rd down and very long. And I know it's the preseason, but it'll be interesting to see if the Titans dial it up here or drop back into something safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the ideal situation where you want to test things out. Like you said, it is the preseason, and in the regular season, they might sit back and play zone. But right now, I think I might dial something up to see how my pressures work. You see, they got Akeem Ayers on 3rd down situation, rushing like they would like to see him do.
He's at the right end, and Carl Klug's the right tackle. Here comes Klug, who puts the pressure on. It falls incomplete, almost picked off by Zach Brown. And the Titans defense really responding after giving up that touchdown.
And they were able to apply that pressure with the 4-man rush. He predicted they would bring some pressure, but they didn't have to bring anyone off the edge or exotic blitz. I think Greg wants to allow his defensive linemen to apply pressure by 4-man rush earlier on, just to see, get their legs under them. Let them get back into the flow of everything since the first preseason game.
Savraka punting the football to Mark Mariani at the 31. Mariani stumbling forward to close to the 40-yard line, and once again, the Titans will start with very good field position as we're tied at 7, thanks to the fleet feet of Chris Johnson. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. Chris Johnson done for the evening. 58-yard touchdowns have a way of doing that in the preseason opener.
Of course, that's what you want to do. All the work is happening, and we'll see here, The offensive line gets excellent push and cuts back.
Tight end throws a great block.
Beautiful block on the backside. That's what you want. When you get CJ in this situation right here, north and south immediately, he's deadly.
That line just caved to the right side. 1st and 10 for Jake Locker with Sean Green in the backfield. Locker to throw, and there's Sean Green. He shows a burst, and the veteran from Iowa gets a first down.
What's so valuable about a guy like Sean Green is that he can pick up the hard yards for you. I believe on 3rd and 1, he is 100%.
11 for 11
last year. But see, Jake Locker takes what the defense gives him, checks down to Sean. He shows a little speed to the outside, but what he's here to do is to split carries with CJ, give him a little break, and get the hard, tough yards on the inside.
The Titans have advanced into Redskins territory. 1st and 10, Locker to throw. Pressure from behind, and he's taken down and sacked. Sack on the play by Brian Arakpo, the veteran from Texas. He's been known to find a quarterback or two.
Well, that's a good matchup for Roos. Arakpo is an all-pro, Pro Bowl guy who missed a lot of time last year. And look, that's what the preseason is for. He got low. He got under Mike Roos, who was a pretty big tackle. But, you know, I think come regular season, Mike Roos will be able to handle that matchup better. But that's what this is for, to get beat, make mistakes, and it's preseason.
But when you're trying to get your quarterback confidence, you've got to be sure up in there. I mean, you can't afford to get beat to the inside.
2nd and 14. That's Taylor Thompson, the tight end, in the backfield with Green. Green with a huge seam down to the 45-yard line. Any holes like that make running backs happy guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, this offensive line, the way they're doing that zone scheme and allowing the running backs to cut back, and Sean Green, he brings a lot of experience. He played a full season as a starter with the New York Jets last year, so he kind of knows how to run within any scheme.
Sean Green, 5'11", 230 pounds. He's gone for 1,000 yards the last 2 years in a row. You see Philip Thomas is down on the play. And here are the numbers last year for the Titans rushing the football. It was either Jake Locker or Chris Johnson. They didn't have a lot after that, guys, and they only had 7 touchdowns rushing the football, and that's a number they absolutely have to improve.
And that's why they went out and invested in the offensive line, bringing in Angela Vitre and drafted Chance Warmack in the 1st round. And you don't want to give CJ so many carries that he wears them out. You want to bring in a guy like Sean Green, divide him, because CJ, as you see, still can get his yards by hitting a home run. He doesn't have to get 30 times in and out. And
you saw on the sideline there, that was Sylvester Croom, the former Mississippi State head coach, who's now the Titans running backs coach. Mike Munchak has a lot of reverence for what he's brought to this team. Arakpo is in the Titans backfield. He wasn't called for offsides on the sack, but I think he's going to get called this time.
Yeah, just a bit early.
Infraction number 98, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So now you go from 3rd and long to 3rd and short, and at 3rd and 2, maybe this is a good time to put Sean Green into that situation that you gave him 3 years and $10 million for.
Absolutely. Let's see what he can do. I mean, typically in a situation you want to have the run-pass option, but I wouldn't be surprised here to see a draw or a trap if they decide to run the football.
Well, he's in the gun with Washington to the right and Britt and right to the left. It's to Nate Washington, who curls in for the catch, and that will move the chains. Really nice timing on that play between Locker and Washington.
Yeah, that was great. You know, that's Jake's first real completion, and he needs to get in the rhythm. He needs to kind of get his thing going. Nate beats the one-on-one, comes back to the ball, and makes a good football move upfield. That's what you would like to see from Jake Locker and this wide receiver corps.
And you notice everything is an easy throw, short throws to get him into rhythm to build up his confidence.
Nate Washington coming off a 750-yard season. Sean Green again over the right side. Guys, Chance Warmack is getting a chance to show what he can do.
Listen, they ran to the right side on CJ's long run, and the last run that Sean had was to the right. So they're making an emphasis of running right. I mean, the right side might be their strong side with Chance and the guard tackle relationship. I watched Chance in college, and this kid can move for as big as he is, and he has a nasty streak to him, and that's something that when I played here, the offensive line had was a nasty streak, and they want to get back to that, and he brings that type of attitude to the offensive line.
Quinn Johnson has come in at fullback for the Titans on 2nd and 8. Locker hands to Green. Nice cut. And Green is inside the 25, close to the 23. Eddie, you like what you're seeing from 23?
I do. Well, we saw them run to the right with Chance Warmack. Now we will see the backside block. He cuts him down. When he's able to cut back like that, he doesn't have to worry about defenders coming from behind, and that's a good job on the backside of the line where we're seeing now Chance Warmack come down, cut his guy from behind, giving the running back a lane to run through.
3rd and 4 now for Jake Locker, who has 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Looking for Kenny Britt, and he got him. And Kenny just barely hangs on to the football, and this one's going to be close. It's going to depend on the spot.
Kenny Britt.
And the Titans are already going in with a big package, so if they don't have it, they're going.
Kenny Britt is having an outstanding preseason so far in practice. He said he looks like the Kenny Britt of old. If he can come back to where he was prior to that injury, man, this could be a very explosive offense, along with CJ and Jake Locker and the other array of weapons they have on their staff.
The first round pick in Rutgers history said he feels like he's 24 again, which is interesting because he's 24 now. But my point being on that, guys, he came into the league at 20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still a really young football player.
And I had the opportunity to play with Kenny. He was there, I believe, my last year with the Titans. And you could see him coming out towards the end of the year. And then the year he got hurt, he had that monster game against Philly, 200-something yards, a few touchdowns, and then he blew his knee out. And then last year, it's all about getting the mental process back. Kenny, I spoke to him. He says he really feels like himself. But once you have a knee injury, that's like your kid. That's your baby. You got to take care of that so you can go out there and be at your top level. But 2 years removed, we should see the Kenny Britt of old.
4th and inches. Sean Green over the right side. He's got the first down. Took some defenders for a ride.
That's quintessential Tennessee Titan power football. You're going to see that guard pull around, double down, kick out. Nothing fancy about it.
Andy Levitri.
A nice little lane and gets the first down.
Andy Levitri, the free agent they brought in from Buffalo, guys. He was the #1 offensive line free agent in the NFL. He was this team's #1 target. They were not going to be denied. 1st and 10, another hand. Green's got plenty of room. Sean Green, a 19-yard touchdown. And a late hit to boot. Bakari Rambo having a tough debut.
Well, look, this is what you like to see if you're Mike Munchak and Bruce Matthews. You like to see your offensive line control the line of scrimmage, open up these big holes for these running backs to run through. We just saw CJ take one 60-plus, and now you see Sean Green able to break out. What a great block. Set him free. Man, that hole, I could have drove my Mercedes through that hole.
And we'll see Chance Warmack leading the way.
Boom.
Like I talked about, this kid is big. He can move. They're seeing how he is on the front side. They're seeing how he moves on the back side. They're seeing what he pulls. He is an impact player for the Tennessee Titans on the offensive line.
Is smash and dash back?
Yes. It might be back.
It could be. Sean Green runs behind his pads. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. And as you saw earlier, he already made one of the Redskins defenders pay.
He's got 2 1,000-yard seasons in his career. It would be something. He would have to play a lot to get a third in this situation. Macon Bonani in with the PAT. It's up and it's good. Another impressive drive by the Titans offense as they really carved the Redskins up on the ground for the 2nd time in a row. And they now lead 14-7 with 35 seconds to play in the 1st quarter. Eddie, let's take one more look.
And this is power football once again. This is what they want to get back to, having that nastiness up front. You'll see Chance Warmack come out. Big, huge hole, man. You know what? I need some pads. I need to go get some more yards to put on this 10,000. You know what I really do, because that was, no one was there, winning untouched.
Quinn Johnson, the fullback, also made a nice block on London Fletcher to close out the linebacker.
Hey, that corner seen Chance Warmack coming. He didn't want no parts of that.
Big boy can move now.
Yeah, he can.
He's
Yeah,
a
he
road
can.
daddy. He's a road daddy.
You know, he wears a size 18 shoe.
Keith, listen, man.
18.
I'm not concerned about the shoes. I'm concerned about the pants. I mean, this is a big man. He's 6'2", 330
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
what
sir.
do you do if you see that as a defender coming around the edge? Do you go low? Do you try to make a move? Because you're taught to have it go bounce out and back inside.
Back
correct?
inside. So I'm just going to come up and do my job and just send it back in with a big fella like that. You know, he seems pretty agile, but if it's one of those guys who's kind of clumsy, I might be able to make a move on him to make the play. But at the end of the day, I just want to be in position so the other 10 players on my team can make the play.
Okay. Guys, my spotter here, Brent Doherty, just told me. Chance Warmack has a size 48 waist.
48.
He's a big man.
48.
He is a big man
48.
that can move and he's agile.
You got a big booty.
Well, he better have a big booty because he's got a big wallet now after going number 10 overall.
Yeah.
And for running backs like Chris Johnson, Sean Green, Jake Locker, you got to feel good about what you see. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Benani found the 5-hour energy, put that one about 5 rows up. Actually kicking off from the 50-yard line after the late hit.
Won 3 BCS championships, Alabama. I mean, he is a beast. Listen, that offensive line they had at Alabama is the best offensive line, I think, in the history of college football.
Better than the Ohio State University?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Orlando Pace.
Listen, from man to man, tackle to tackle, guard, center, that was the best combination in college football history. I mean, he was the best one on there on an offensive line.
High praise from Edward Nathan George. 1st and 10 for the 20. Grossman to throw. Ropane Patoa applying the heat. And guys, if you can't see Patoa coming, you're in trouble because he is 6'8", 300 pounds.
Well, he met Rex Grossman, and you know what? Rex Grossman threw me my last NFL interception, I just must say.
Yeah, they wanted to get bigger on the defensive line. Sammy Hill was a big target. Patoa, maybe not the biggest name in the NFL, but you don't find defensive ends that big anymore. Halu, no place to go. Cuts it back up. Makes Patoa miss. Michael Griffin takes him down, setting up 3rd and short. Nice run there by Halo Jr.
Yeah, real nice one, but waiting for the defense to stay with it. You know, he's a shifty guy, but at the same time, the Titans defense rallied to the ball, and that's what you always got to do. You got to run to the ball because you never know what's going to happen. Safety, Zach Brown from the linebacker position made the tackle with Michael Griffin.
That's the end of the first quarter, and the Titans have taken a 14-7 lead behind some fantastic moves from the Titans tandem in the backfield, Chris Johnson and Sean Green. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. Back to LP Field. Chris Johnson's got a 58-yard touchdown run, and the Titans have got themselves a 14-7 lead. Corey Curtis, Keith Bullock, Eddie George, and Eddie, the Titans look like the Titans.
Yeah, they sure did. Especially on the offensive line, the way they control the offensive line, moving the pile, allowing the running backs to come downhill. It was reminiscent of the days when I played here a few years back when Chris Johnson had 2,000 yards. They had a nastiness about them, and I see that here tonight. That's what they wanted to accomplish. Mike Munchak really is taking over the offensive line calls and making sure that they're getting ready, and I'm starting to see the product out in the field that's come to fruition for them. And
the Redskins have just thrown an incompletion and are now punting. And Keith, after the Titans gave up a touchdown, they have bounced back nicely defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you'd like to see. You don't want to see the Redskins drive down the field, but at the same time, you'd like to see the Titans defense respond, although they did give up that touchdown. So for them to get another 3 and out and to come back and play solid defense is great.
Yeah. Well, we've got a flag on the field, I think, on this punt play right now. But as we go into the second quarter here, what do the Titans need to see now?
Well, I would like to see them shore up a little bit more defensively. It seems like he talked about the defense, the run defense is a little bit of a concern. I want to see them make the right fits, be a little bit more nasty at the point of attack, giving up too many yards on 1st and 2nd down in the run game. And I know, Greg Williams and Jerry Gray can't be happy about that, they expect to get off the field, get a lot of 3 and out. So that's where it starts, winning on 1st and 2nd down.
Well, the Titans are back on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Jake Locker is still in the game as we go into the second quarter. He'll go play action to Quinn Johnson, and he's taken down by a pair of tacklers for a short gain. And it may be unusual for a starting quarterback to play this long in a preseason opener, but this isn't your typical situation. I mean, Jake Locker's coming off of a rocky first season. He needs time.
Yeah, Jake definitely needs time. He hasn't been out there healthy all year, one season yet. So this year is finally his team. Last year he was battling with Matt. Now he can go in there as
even Matt not being on the sideline is important.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want that shadow over the back of your back all the time.
And he definitely needs the reps because he's got to get his confidence. And given the fact you see a lot of young quarterbacks like Andrew Luck, RG3 here tonight have so much success, you want to see the same thing for Jake. And he has to take over, not just as the quarterback of his team, but the face of the franchise. And he has to be consistent week in and week out and really start to take over this team and be that guy, that leader in the locker room that they can depend on.
It looks like Sean Green is also done for the evening after 5 carries and 32 yards. Jackie Battle got that last carry. He came in like a day before training camp and has opened some eyes. He's a 6'2", 250-pounder and a veteran, and Mike Munchak has liked what he's seen so far. Locker to throw on 3rd down. He's got Nate Washington who stretches forward, and it's going to be close. Didn't reach out with the football, which may end up costing him.
Well, let's go. You talk about Jackie Battle. He's somebody that Mike Munchak in our meeting with him he wanted to see. So he's out there with the first offensive line, and they're going to get a great look at him and evaluate talent. That's what this preseason is about, is evaluating talent. And you can never have too many running backs, or maybe you can.
No,
Washington, 78 consecutive regular season games with the reception. Looks like he's got the first down, and Nate's stepping into a leadership role. I mean, Eddie, I know that Derek Mason was a great player for this football team. Kevin Dyson was a first-round pick and, of course, has had some memorable plays. They have never had a receiving core with as much invested in it as this one. 2 first-rounders. They traded up to get Justin Hunter. They gave Nate Washington money. We'll get back to that in a second. Those guys are going to have to carry their load because they've paid for it. 1st and 10 now for Locker. Battle still in the backfield. He'll get another carry. Pushing the pile forward for about 2 or 3 yards.
But back to bringing in all those weapons, the reason why they're investing in the wide receiver position is because this is now a quarterback-centric league. Everything runs through the quarterback position. You look at the teams that won the playoffs last year, their quarterbacks were very successful. So you got to invest in wide receivers. The more the merrier. The more guys that bring multiple skill sets to those positions, the better for your offense.
2nd and 7 from the 44. Play action for Locker. Steps up over the middle. It's complete to Battle. We'll set up a 3rd and short, and that's the play that Dowell Loggins has told Jake Locker that he can make. He doesn't have to go downtown. They can take that and set up 3rd and short.
And back to what you were saying, Eddie, that first of all, that is nice reading through your progressions by Jake Locker. Take the pass that's there. But to the receivers and the line and the running backs, look, I think that's the Titans saying, Jake Locker, it's time to get it done. We've given you all the weapons that you need. You got wide receivers, you got a line, you got running backs. It's on you, kid.
3rd down, Locker's got a man, and it's dropped by Kendall Wright. Got to catch it first, and the Titans will have to punt. Kendall Wright's dropped about 14 pounds. Unfortunately, also dropped the football.
Got a little excited. He felt like he had something. Could have picked up the first down, maybe more. But, we're starting to see Jake starting to get to some type of rhythm. And it's important for Darryl and Jake to have a good relationship so he can understand what his strengths are, his weaknesses are, and how to get him on track.
Brett Kern on to punt. Caught inside the 10 and taken out of bounds. Richard Crawford inside his own 10. We've got a flag on the play, and it looks like the Redskins could be even going further.
During the kick, holding number 53, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. It'll be 1st down.
That's a call on Brian Keel. When we return, the Redskins will have 1st and 10, and Dawn Davenport will have Chris Johnson. That's next. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Beeman Automotive Group.
Back here to LP Field, 14-7 right now. Titans in the 2nd quarter. I'm with a guy who had a big part of that 14-7 there. CJ, I guess you looked like the days of old. How'd it happen?
Yeah, just been in camp since camp started, just working hard and trying to get on the same page with my offensive line and just coming out here continue treating this preseason game like a real game. That's what our coaches told us. So we just working hard trying to get better and better every week.
I looked on the sideline. One of the biggest smiles was out of Coach Sylvester Kroom. Mike Munchak said when we chatted with him that he's actually really helped him a lot too. What has he done for you?
He's done a whole lot. Like I've been saying all through camp, he's the type of running back coach who have a say-so on some of the plays we've been running and putting his plays in and stuff. And just from the offense coordinator and the head coach, they know what we're trying to do. We're just trying to pound the ball and get better every week.
We just saw Sean Green go as well. Are we going to see another smash and dash combo here?
Hopefully we just keep pushing and keep this running game going and help Jake out. So the better we is in the running game, that's the better this team going to be.
Last question for you. This is a revamped offensive line with Levitri and Warmack. What do you think about it?
I think they've been doing a good job just from a couple of runs that I had in the first quarter, being able to be patient and read the line and those type of things. It just feels good that I can be patient and read it and actually hit it.
All right, thanks, CJ. Congrats, guys.
All right, thanks, Don. Big Mookie with that tackle. And guys, my favorite tweet of the offseason came when the Titans drafted Chance Warmack, number 10. Chris Johnson tweeted 2 words in all caps: "Thank God."
He watches college football too. I would have been pumped too. I tell you that he's quite the talent.
Rex Grossman is still the quarterback for the Redskins, who are now at 2nd and 9 on their own 23. Play action for Rex. It's dropped on the play by Aldrick Robinson, a second-year man from SMU. Rex is a guy who's taken a lot of flack during his career. He's also a guy who's quarterbacked the team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That was his defense. No, cut the chase. That's not even candy coated. It was the Chicago Bear defense. He so happened to be on the team.
All right.
Quarterbacking into the Super Bowl.
I told you, man, Rex Grossman made me look good. Last NFL play ever. Interception by Keith Bulluck from Rex Grossman.
Number 53. 3rd and 10. The Titans are showing blitz. Here they come. Grossman under pressure, and he is taken down and sacked. It looks like the rookie from LSU, LeVar Edwards, was there. And so were a bunch of his friends.
Number 75, Kiyunta Dawson comes through. What a great move. How he got low, he ripped through the offensive tackle and put the pressure on Rex Grossman. One thing Rex can still do is take them sacks, buddy.
Wow, you just killing the guy.
I like Rex.
Mariani back to receive the punt. He's going to have to run up to catch it. Mariani making some moves, and there he goes. Down to the 20, but this one is coming back. There's a flag at the Titans' 45-yard line, but Mark Mariani, what a special night for him just to get back on the football field.
That's great. That's what you love to see. Mark Mariani is one of the favorites in the city of Nashville, and for him to get that confidence, that's a big confidence boost for him.
Number 35, receiving team.
Guys, that's
10-yard
Tracy
penalty.
Wilson, and the shame of it is it had absolutely nothing to do with the return. It was over on the far sideline. So the Titans have got some real estate to cover. When we return, they lead 14-7. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. Up 14-7. Dawn Davenport, you've got more good news from Mark Mariani.
Yeah, he gets asked about that injury often. He says he's wrestled not with the fear of another injury, but with the fear of never being himself again. He always asks, am I going to be fast enough? Am I going to be strong enough? Well, Coach Munchak said he has been in the building every single day for the past year, that he's almost there. He's still trying to find ways to overcome in those areas where he just can't do the same things, but he said he looks good.
Locker hands to Battle. Battle's got a seam. Punishing run close to the 50, but we've got a flag in the backfield. Mark Mariani is an extremely likable.
10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Extremely likable young man, and it's going to be tough for him to make this team, guys. Honestly, it's going to be tough. He's in a battle with Darius Raynaud, but he's one of those guys that you love to have around.
You do. And Keith alluded to this earlier, that he's one of the fan favorites here. You want to see the guy do well. And if he doesn't make it here, guess what? If he shows that he's healthy enough, he can still make plays, he's building up film to probably land somewhere else. But it's going to be an interesting battle between him and Raynaud.
1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Locker still in the game. He's going to throw. steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. Nice block by Battle. And Locker slides at the 30. They got another physical back in that backfield, guys.
Yeah, Jackie Battle is a big guy. Munchak said he wants to see him out there. He came into camp, he turned heads, he runs physical in practice, so the only way you could really see what they can do is when they play in the game. So, look, like Eddie just said, these guys are not just trying to make this Titan team. There are 31 other teams that they're auditioning for as well.
He's a load, though, Keith. He's a big man.
2nd and 16. Locker to throw again, short to Britt. Bounces off his hands, incomplete.
I would like to see Kenny Britt come back downhill and go to attack the football. You see, he stood there, he waited for the ball to come to him. Look, fella, that ball was anybody's ball. You got to go get it.
Chase Minifield closed on the play. Take another look at this one.
See how Kenny just stands there and wait? You like to see him come back down and attack that football.
We saw
so he
Nate
can grab it and
Washington
go
do
up
it
the
earlier.
field. Absolutely. That's a veteran. Kenny's still a young player, but he's learning.
So it's 3rd and very long for Locker. He sets up a screen to Battle. Battle running through tacklers. He's going to get the first down and more. Jackie Battle, welcome to Nashville.
Yes.
What about that did you like?
That's how you tote
Mr.
the rock.
George.
That's how you tote the rock. Nothing pretty. Gets the screen out. Let me find somebody. Who wants some of this? Get some. Get off me. Gets the first down. Nice physical run by Battle.
Dijon Gomes didn't stand a chance. I also like the way he ran through that defensive lineman's
That's how
arms
you're supposed
coming from
to
behind.
run the rock.
48-yard line now for Locker and company. Jackie Battle. Surging forward, he's going to wind up with 3.
Yeah, anytime you're a defender and you see a running back 6'3", 200-something pounds, you definitely need to have your big boy pads on and you need to step up and make that play. And defensively, tackling is confidence. You have to have confidence to stick your nose in there and take that punishment or dish it out.
Darius Raynaud has entered the game, and with Mark Mariani busting off a long return and Jackie Battle now running over people, there's a lot of pressure on number 25 to make some things happen. 2nd and 7. And Raynaud gets it. Swarmed under and taken down. Nice play by the Redskins defense. Kedrick Golston, an 8th-year man from Georgia, tracks down number 25.
And what I love about the Titans running backs are they bring a great deal of change of pace. You got CJ who can hit to the outside, who's the home run hitter. And then you have Sean Green that can hit it to the inside, people with hard, tough yards and wear down the defense. And then Battle, who is a battering ram, who can just wear down the defense as well. And Raynaud can do the same thing. So they like that change of pace where you can have the speed and the power in their backfield.
3rd and 10, Jake Locker has to make a play. Locker dumps to Jalen Parmalee. The pass is deflected, and it's incomplete. And the Titans will have to punt the football, but with a good chance to pin the Redskins deep.
You know what I have noticed tonight is that Jake Locker is not throwing the ball downfield. Everything has been short. Everything has been thrown short, just trying to get him into rhythm. Regardless of the situation, he's just trying to, Darryl Log is the offensive coordinator, is trying to get him, build his confidence up as you move along in the preseason.
Brett Kern on to punt. Angles to the right sideline. We'll have to see where this one gets spotted. They pointed to guys like Robert Griffin III and Andrew Luck, who made short throws and let their teammates turn them into long ones. Titans lead 14-7. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. T-Rack celebrating 2 Titans touchdowns as they lead 14-7 at LP Field. 6:41 remains in the first half. Bank like a Titan with Titans checking accounts exclusively at Pinnacle. Get VIP access to special events, discounts on Titans merchandise, and a free debit MasterCard. Visit TitansBanking.com or your local Pinnacle office for more details. Pinnacle Financial Partners, bank like a Titan. 1st and 10 for the Washington Redskins. Rex Grossman under center. He'll take over from the 15-yard line. Another handoff to Helu Jr. He's got room and taken down hard at about the 28, 29-yard line. Like Patrick Bailey was in on the action. So was Al Afalava. Bleedy Ray Wilson, a rookie corner from UConn, is entering the lineup, as are Mike Martin and LeVar Edwards. Edwards, a rookie from LSU. Martin in his second year from Eddie's favorite school, Michigan. First and 10, Halu. Grabbed by Edwards and taken down for about a 5-yard gain.
That's not what you like to see on defense, giving up 5 yards a pop on first down, 10 yards a pop on first down, because as a defender now the offense has 2nd and 4. They have more to do with their playbook. They can do more plays, and it just stresses the defense.
What does that do to you from a morale standpoint when it happens to you, 4 or 5 yard pops?
From a morale standpoint, well, defensively you can't get in a rhythm because right now the offense is dictating the tempo.
2nd and 4. Flags on the play. Redskins look like they had a little bit of discombobulation.
And also to add to that,
5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
To add to that, you know, you want to get off the field. The name of the game on defense, you want to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and it's hard to go 3 and out if you start off the series 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2, exactly.
Yeah. Well, 2nd and 4 is now 2nd and 9 after the false start on Tom Compton. The Titans 4-man front going to go after Rex Grossman. Dumps over the middle, and that's going to be another first down as Logan Paulson, a 4th-year man from UCLA, hauls it in to move the chains. A lot of depth on that Titans defensive line, and these are the guys who are going to be battling for playing time and spots. I mean, guys like Mookie Johnson, who just came in. Carl Klug has shown he can rush the passer in the past, but they brought in some bigger bodies, and the challenge is there. 1st and 10. Another running play for Washington. Halu Jr. Al Afalava trips him up, but not until he takes him over for a first down. The #1 rushing offense in the NFL, and they are showing why.
Yeah. Mike Shanahan was the master back in the late 90s of that zone blocking. We can see the backside once again, getting cut from the backside, allowing the running back to find his lanes, and that's what he was known for. That's a staple of his offense. Is having an offensive line backside, cutting back the backside, the defensive ends, the defensive tackle, allowing the running backs to pick and choose his lane.
Halu, 12 carries, 57 yards. The Redskins averaged 169 yards a game last year on the ground. From the 50. Grossman on play action. He's got his tight end. Tackle on the play by Bleedy Ray Wilson. Actually, that was a receiver, Leonard Hankerson, who is going to move the chains one more time.
Yeah, the Titans defense, someone needs to step up, make a play, and extinguish this fire, because right now the Redskins are getting 10 yards a pop, run pass, and that one run, the play before looked like the same running play that CJ scored on.
From the 39, Halu Jr. to the 40. There's a flag in the backfield. It's a big run by Halu. He's down at the 20, but this one's coming back. The flag sits at the 43-yard line. We'll have to see what the call is from Walt Anderson, but this one looks like it's coming back.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty.
That's Josh Laribius, who's going to take his team back. You know, you guys talked about the defense not being able to get into a rhythm, but when the offense is ripping off 5, 9, 10-yard runs, they really get into a rhythm.
Yeah, definitely. And from a defender standpoint, you are off balance. You don't know if they're going to run. You don't know if they're going to pass, because you're honestly out there like we can't stop anything.
Right.
But it takes someone on that defense to make a play. You just need to make a play, force a fumble, big hit, something to get the momentum back on your side from the Titans standpoint.
1st and 20 for the Redskins. Titans bring an extra man. Pressure on Grossman, but he completes. It's Hankerson again. And he's going to set up 2nd and still about 8 yards to go. Tommy Campbell makes the tackle.
And really, both offensive lines have dominated the line of scrimmage for both teams. You know, the Redskins are just coming off the ball. It's a physical thing. It's not about the right fit or the right scheme. This is football. You've got to have more will and want to than the next man in front of you. And the Redskins are doing it on this drive and really sustained that through the beginning of this game up to this point.
Second and long, just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Another run play for the Redskins. It looks like Carl Klug is there. And that will set up 3rd and 4. Don Davenport will have Mike Munchak on the sideline when the first half comes to an end. Be interesting to get his take. And guys, interesting thing for Mike Munchak, and I know one of you guys, I think Eddie brought it up, how he's taken over the offensive line in the run blocking. We'll touch on that when we return. We're at the 2-minute warning. Titans lead 14-7. You're watching the Titans Television Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive. Minutes to play in the first half. Jay Locker all smiles as his Titans lead 14-7 over the Redskins in the preseason opener for both teams. A Thursday nighter. Game 2 will come next Saturday night from Cincinnati, where Eddie and Keith and I and Dawn will all be on hand to bring you that one as well.
Should be exciting.
Looking forward to it.
Cincinnati, the Buckeye State.
Keith gets to get reunited with Pac.
Pac. I just saw a Pac-Man Jones jersey in the stands.
3-2.
32, baby.
Third down facing the Redskins, and we talked about what you want to see from this Titans team, and this is what you want to see. You want to see them come through in a situation where they can get off the field with 3 points instead of 7.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the second unit. These guys are fighting for a job, so they want to go out there and put something on tape, impress their coach, or, like we said earlier, one of the coaches around this league. But for the Titans right now, this is a huge down.
4-man on the front line for the Titans facing Rex Grossman. Grossman, short throw complete. Tommy Campbell's got the tackle, but that's going to move the chains. Joshua Morgan, 6th-year player from Virginia Tech, caught 48 passes a year ago. He's got a first down, 1:45 to play in
Rex
ticket.
must have heard us up here talking about him.
He's throwing darts.
From that point on, the last time he got sacked, 2 series ago, he's been on fire. And
if they score a touchdown and he points to the booth,
do we know?
We're going to blame number 53.
Sexy Rex.
1st and 10. Grossman going for it all. It's out of bounds, incomplete. A lot of contact, but that would have been uncatchable either way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that fans should watch for, is that corner position, that battle with Tommy Campbell, who's out there now, Cody Sensabaum on the other side. So, look, those guys are competing for a job. And like you said, there was contact there, but he didn't give up on the ball, and it was uncatchable anyway.
Tommy Campbell, I mean, we talked about this story a year ago. I mean, this is a guy who was a janitor in an airport in Pittsburgh just a couple of years ago, now in his 3rd year in the NFL. Hard not to root for that guy. 2nd and 10. Grossman to throw again. He's got it complete to Aldrick Robinson with Tommy Campbell on him. And Tommy's drawn some praise from Greg Williams in camp, but Greg's not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, I would like to see him compete more. You're down here in the red zone, green zone. You need to, especially a guy who's trying to crack the starting lineup, you'd like to see him get his hands on the right receiver, reroute him, do something to impede his process.
And he's a big kid.
Yes, he is.
Like Cromartie. He reminds me of Cromartie with the size and his speed. And if he could just bring the physicality to the game, I think that he'll be all right.
Even it has to be nuanced, too. He has to understand the nuances of the position.
We're going to get another look at this one to see if he was in bounds. You're watching Titans Preseason Network, brought to you in part by Beeman Automotive Group. 15-7 with 1:17 to play in the first half, and the Redskins are threatening. Guys, they're looking at this one again, and you see why as that ball comes loose. And the question is, does he have possession and 2 feet?
Play. The ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch.
Wow.
Right call. It's the right call.
I wasn't sure.
It was the right call. After looking at that last replay, he caught the ball, he had control of it, got both feet down, and then went out of bounds. Now, had it been moving around in his hands and all of that, then it would have.
It's moving here.
Moving there, but he regains control right there. Gets both feet in and had control through the catch, so therefore it's a complete pass.
I think if they'd called it incomplete, it would have stood as well. 1st and 8. Halu swarmed and taken down after a minimal gain.
Yeah, if I'm Jerry Gray, I would like to see my defense make a stop. Like, this unit are the guys that are fighting more or less for that last roster spot at their position. So these guys need to come out here and assert themselves, stand up big, make a play, and get off the field. Hold them to 3, or better yet, create a turnover and get no points.
But also, it's an attitude that you want to reestablish, Keith. It's how you play the game.
That you don't give up 7.
You don't want to give up 7, even in the preseason, because you want to have that momentum going into the season. Regardless of who's out there, it's an attitude you have as an organization.
2nd and 8. Grossman to throw, but we've got a flag on the play.
Charge timeout. Washington, 30-second timeout.
Washington instead takes a timeout. So with 33 seconds to play, it will be 2nd and goal for the Redskins and that Titans defense. Coming up at the half, what do we got for you? Well, we've got Dawn Davenport, who will talk with Mike Munchak. Dawn will also have a little report on Chance Warmack, who she got a chance to sit down with just about a week ago. We'll also have your first half stats and highlights. We've got some good running plays to show you. And we'll see if we can come up with a little defensive gem here on 2nd and 8.
But Eddie, you're absolutely right. Attitude is about 80% of this game once you get to this level. You can play the football game once you get to the pros, but it's the attitude you bring, and you have to bring that in practice and in the games, week in and week out.
2 receivers to the left for Rex Grossman. He's looking that way, sets up a flanker screen, and Hankerson is in for a Redskins touchdown. Leonard Hankerson up and over, and it looks like we are all tied up.
Like the call for the Redskins.
Really well designed and executed.
Throwing the wide receiver screen, picks up the block for the incoming lineman, kicking out the corner. Hankerson finds it for the seam, goes in for the touchdown.
Grossman, 6 for 7,
Wow.
65 yards for the touchdown.
Sexy Rex, that's my guy.
The kick is up, and it is good, and we are in fact tied at 14-14 with 26 seconds to play. It'll be interesting to see if the Titans try to do anything here or just try to take a knee and get into halftime and regroup for the second half.
I wouldn't, because you're dealing with a young quarterback. Here's an opportunity to say, okay, we're just not going to rest on your laurels. We're going to get you in the habit of competing in every situation. So if it were me and I was the head coach, and that's why I'm up in the booth, I would try to figure out a way to get into field goal range, because you want that competitive edge. If you're preaching attitude, Keith, and you want to reestablish what you had from years ago, you've got to do that at every turn. There's opportunities.
Ladies, join the all-new Titans Women's Club, Titan True, to receive exclusive access to special events, and you'll get a welcome pack with ladies merchandise and other great benefits year-round. So ladies, sign up today at titansonline.com to join the Titans official women's fan club, Titan True. Mark Mariani has returned punts tonight. He is now going to get a chance to return a kick. Kai Forbath is set to kick off one more time from his own 35-yard line. And I guess if he gets it up to the 40, they may try to do something. But if he gets to the 20,
I'd do something regardless. Why not? It's preseason, right?
agreed. But they don't ask me to call the plays.
They don't ask me either. They ask me to call this game.
Mariani about 8 yards deep, and he's coming out. To the 20 and to the 24-yard line. Mark Mariani. There are 20 seconds left to play here in the half. Mariani's going to stay in the game on offense. Damian Williams, Michael Preston are the other receivers, and Ryan Fitzpatrick has entered the game at quarterback. Colin Mooney, the West Point grad, has come into the game at running back. Chance Warmack still on the field. First round pick getting a long look in the first half.
Reps can only help him. He needs all the reps that he can get, because when he gets to that regular season, it's full tilt.
Running play. Darius Raynaud dropped after about a 2-yard gain, and that will be the last play of the first half. Chase Minifield with the tackle. We've played 30 minutes of football, and we're all tied up at 14-14 as both of these teams have shown They can run the football, and they can move the chains a little bit. Be interesting to see what we see in the second half as we get into the back half of these rosters. Let's head down to the sideline now where Don Davenport has the head coach.
That's right. All right, Coach. 2 TDs on the ground. Your run game looked pretty solid. How'd it happen?
Yeah, it did. I think it was some big plays. Obviously, CJ made a great cut after a good hold in the secondary, and that's what you want to see early from him. And that was nice. And Sean Green ran really hard, and so that looks good. If we didn't have the one penalty, we probably have 3 scores, and so a couple of penalties hurt us, but overall, solid half.
We got to see that revamped offensive line in game action for the first time, which is something I know you wanted to see. What did you think were what they thought they were going to be?
Well, that's what we wanted to see. We want to be able to run the ball. The 4th and 1, we converted, which we wanted. The short yardage situation was another thing, and protection was a little sloppy early, but I think that's a positive. We ran the ball very well in the first half. If we don't have the penalty, we probably ran the ball even better. So we'll come out second half and finish up.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck. Appreciate it. All right, he talked about that revamped offensive line. Well, Chance Warmack's one of those first draft picks, and we're going to talk to him coming up after the break, so stick around. We're tied at 14 right here at the half. You're watching Titans preseason football, brought to you in part by the Beeman Automotive Crew. Stick around.
Lottery, more than $2.7 billion raised for education. Take a look at the numbers. The Redskins have moved the chains, guys. 13 first downs to the Titans 7, but part of that is because the Titans ripped off a couple of big runs. 103 yards rushing, passing. Rex Grossman, Kirk Cousins, both fairly effective, 133 yards. No turnovers for both teams, which is something I think both teams have to like at this point. Really, the mistakes have been at a minimum for a first preseason game.
Yeah, it has. I mean, you got to feel good about it. The mistakes have really been for the Titans has been in the penalty area. I mean, holding here, you can almost expect that and accept that in the first preseason game. The one thing you can hang your hat on for the Titans is, again, the attitude that you see on the offensive line. Defensively is a different story. I would like to see them come out with a little bit more aggression, stop the run with a little bit more sense of urgency. And I think Greg Williams and Coach Jerry Gray will figure that out as the preseason goes on in terms of really correcting those mistakes on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, absolutely. For myself, I would have liked to see the first team defense play a little bit better. They gave up that early score, but they responded. I like the physicality. Moses Foku was out there flying around. Zach Brown, at least they're playing physical, bringing an attitude to it. But at the same time, I would have liked them to get more stops in the beginning. They settled down and got it going, though.
It'll be interesting to see as we get closer to the regular season. And they're able to do a few more things, because I know you'd like to see them do some things defensively, but when you've got that most aggressive part of your game plan still in your pocket, that can be a little bit tough, can't it?
Right, absolutely. The first preseason game, you want to get your guys out there, let them get comfortable, understand the scheme that they're in, and just play football. You don't want to overload them with different calls, different blitzes. Then you don't get to see a natural reaction from them.
Second half is underway, and the Titans have got the football. That's Khalid Wooten. He's a rookie. He's got the return close up to the 20-yard line. Wooten was a draft choice of the Tennessee Titans this year out of Nevada. 5'11", 212 pounds. Ryan Fitzpatrick came over from the Buffalo Bills to fill that void left by Matt Hasselbeck, who was let go and then immediately signed with the Colts. Hasselbeck getting a hefty paycheck to back up Andrew Luck. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 3,400 yards last year. 14,000 for his career. He's going to throw on the first play of the second half. Nice toss over the 30. Damian Williams has a first down. Guys, I thought Damian Williams was perhaps the most underutilized piece of the Titans' offensive weaponry last season.
And he's a good wide receiver. He understands where to. You see him sit down in the field. He understands where to go. He saw the zone defense, so he didn't continue to run. He sat down in the spot. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think, is a great quarterback to have as your backup because he comes with a lot of experience.
30 catches last year. Another run play. That was Darius Raynaud. Gets a couple yards. Mark Mariani, Michael Preston re-enter the lineup. We've got obviously wholesale changes for both teams here as we get into the second half. Fitzpatrick, he gets a nice paycheck to come here, but I mean this is a guy who's been a starter, and he comes here knowing he's the number 2.
And that pays dividends. It really does for you in terms of the backup position.
guy who scored a 48 out of 50 on the Wonderlic coming out of college. I think he completed it in 9 minutes.
I don't even remember that test.
Wow, 9 minutes.
Hand off to Reynaud. He cuts back, and he's just taken down on the play. Nice tackle by Jerome Murphy, a third-year man from South Florida. Reynaud was a step away from making it happen.
Reynaud showing his elusiveness once again, trying to cut backfield, trying to break off a big run. But you go back to Fitzpatrick, I had a chance to talk with him in the offseason, and one thing he did mention is saying, I can come here and just be myself with no pressure. In Buffalo, he signed the big deal. Weight of the world was on him, forced to really be the face of that franchise and produce wins. But here, you can be a backup and just kind of relax and make plays.
3rd and long for Fitzpatrick. He throws deep middle, and it's off of Preston's hands. Incomplete. A nice challenge there by Richard Crawford, but obviously, Preston, you'd like to see him come up with that football.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he put it on the money. And, to go back to what Eddie was saying about Fitzpatrick, what also helps is Locker gets a veteran quarterback in his classroom. Jake Locker is still learning, so not having Matt Hasselbeck here, it helps him because he doesn't have that gorilla in the room, so to speak. But
it's no different than when Steve was here with Neil O'Donnell.
Exactly.
Kern punting. Sky Dawson set to return. He's got it at the 26. Taken down and tackled on the play by Jack Doyle, a rookie from Western Kentucky. The Titans say they've got it. The referees say you don't. Nice coverage there. Nice high punt. We've got a flag on the play as well. It sits at the Redskins' own 38-yard line. Walt Anderson and company talk it over.
There is no foul for holding. That action occurred as the runner was being tackled. Your first down, timeout.
And so the Redskins will take over 1st and 10 at their 26-yard line. We're tied at 14. You're watching the Titans Television Network.
Football is brought to you by Beeman Automotive Group, Sonic, and the Tennessee Lottery.
First and 10 Redskins tied at 14, 12:38 to play in the third. Washington with the football. Rex Grossman still the quarterback. Nice tackle by Carl Klug as he takes down Evan Royster, a third-year man from Penn State. And after a busy first half, I'm guessing Roy Halou Jr. is done for the night.
As he should be. Did some impressive running for the Redskins. Now we want to see these young crop of Titans get in there and turn some eyes. Look, we want to call your name. We want to know who you are. Titans fans want to know who you are. This is your opportunity.
2nd and 8. Grossman to throw. Titans blitz, and he's going deep. Overshoots his man, incomplete. Nice coverage over there. Cody Sensabaugh and Al Afalava. Dante Stallworth, the former UT star, was the intended receiver as we take another look.
Absolutely. I like how Sensabaugh got his hands on the receiver. Dante doesn't have the jets that he used to have, but he's a veteran wide receiver, very crafty. And for that young fella to get up there with the confidence, put your hands on the wide receiver, make him do something besides run straight and to have the coverage. I also like to see the safety over the top, knowing that he had his cornerbacks back.
3rd and long, and the Titans are blitzing again over the middle and broken up on the play. Incomplete. Tim Shaw, the special teams captain, playing some linebacker, makes the play.
That's what we just saw out of Jerry Gray, being very aggressive with the defensive play calling, applying pressure, bringing those exotic blitzes against Rex Grossman, and we're seeing now that if he can, in fact, handle the pressure and got to him a little bit.
That was Bleedy Ray Wilson, the rookie from UConn. Khalid Wooten back to receive the punt. And Wooten waves for a fair catch, and he's got it at the 27-yard line. So Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Titans offense will take over. We're still tied at 14. You're watching the Titans Preseason Football Network. Dowell Loggins, in his first year as the Titans offensive coordinator, set to call some plays for Ryan Fitzpatrick and his offense, tied at 14 with the Redskins. at LP Field. 11:45 remains in the third quarter. Corey Curtis with Eddie George and Keith Bullock and Don Davenport. On what's turned into a beautiful night for football.
Oh, it did. Saw Dowell Loggins on the sidelines. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to continue to stay on the sidelines, calling plays or going up in the booth.
I think Jake, when they did their run-through last week here, they liked the communication aspect face-to-face. Fitzpatrick's pass is batted and incomplete, setting up 2nd and long as the Redskins got a good push up the middle. And Chris Baker, a second-year man from Hampton.
Yeah, and talking to Dowell, he says that he likes to get the feel, the energy of the players when he's down on the sideline, being disconnected from, because some guys want to see it from a different vantage point, and they want to see the field from manipulating plays and so forth, seeing what the defense is doing, but he wants to be in the mix, in the energy of the guys.
2nd and 10 for the Titans, and the Redskins applying some pressure. It's Darius Raynaud with just not a whole lot of real estate. He's going to lose about a half yard, setting up another 3rd and long for the Titans.
And to go back to the communication aspect, that's something Mike Munchak talked about. You know, they've been doing signals from the sidelines. You know, they always have someone during the game with the headset who communicates with the coordinator or whoever's calling the plays. But Mike Munchak said he'd like to get back to the hand signals because it forces the guys to learn, 1, 2, communication back, and 3, look to the sidelines for anything coaches might want to change up pre-snap.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on 3rd and long. He goes short to Parmalee. Breaks 1 tackle, but not 2. And the Titans will be forced to punt once again.
Some good football right there. Nice catch, nice tackle. That's textbook football. That's what you like to see.
Dijon Gomes makes the tackle. Brent Kern on to punt one more time. And on to return, Sky Dawson. Booming punt by Kern to the 16. Dawson wrapped up and tanked down. I think that was Bo Brinkley, the long snapper, with some good hustle. 53-yard punt, and the Redskins take over inside their own 20. We're tied at 14. You're watching preseason football on the Titans Network. The Redskins Titans knotted at 14 in the third quarter. Bank like a Titan with Titans checking accounts exclusively at Pinnacle. Get VIP access to special events, discounts on Titans merchandise, and a free debit MasterCard. Visit TitansBanking.com or your local Pinnacle office for more details. Pinnacle Financial Partners, bank like a Titan. Rex Grossman still in at quarterback. He is 7 of 15 for 87 yards. He's also thrown for 1 touchdown, but he'll hand off on first down. Questionable tackling there for the Titans. You know, we just talked about banking guys. These guys all went to the bank thanks to the Titans in free agency as they spent $100+ million. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Moses Foku, Sean Green got $10 million. Sammy Hill got big money to leave the Detroit Lions. Andy Levitre, $46 million. Delaney Walker comes from the 49ers to replace Jared Cook. And he's not even playing tonight, but they love what he's going to bring to this team. Royster with another carry over the right side.
Yeah, they spent some big money on those guys. And I see when you look at that roster of free agents, you see a mix of them trying to revamp that offensive line, bring in some key guys on the secondary, but also leadership. And also you bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick,
George Wilson.
And for Ryan, again, to have that backup quarterback who's a veteran is so key when you're trying to develop a quarterback, a young quarterback, to be the man that he's supposed to be for this team and this organization.
2nd and 2. Royster has a first down and more. Tommy Campbell knifes in to make the tackle. And you know, one of the reasons the Titans had so much money to spend in free agency was 2 years ago when Mike Munchak and Rustin Webster took over. They had the lockout.
Right.
So they didn't have a full free agency period. Then last year they lost the first 2-3 weeks of free agency. Well, Bud Adams, the owner, tried to get Peyton Manning to come here.
Right.
And so they couldn't get some of the top tier guys they were after. And so this was the first full offseason they had to really kind of launch their attack, and we've seen it. Grossman, deep middle and incomplete. Stallworth looks like he wants a call. He's not going to get it.
And to continue on to what you were saying, it's Mike Munchak's his third year, and his first year that he probably finally feels as if he has his guys in the locker room. He has his coaching staff. He has the guys that he wants on his team. Because look, last year at the end of the season, they fired their offensive coordinator. So that tells you a lot about how things were going inside, the facility and the building. So I think that with this Titans team, they're raring to go. They got all those pieces like you just mentioned, and they should play good football this year.
Pressure's on Grossman. He throws incomplete on 2nd and 10.
Well, you hope to get the right results. You hope that with all the groceries that you brought in terms of the free agents, the coaches, that it results in a positive outcome. And let's face it, Mike Munchak is under pressure. It's playoffs or nothing. And Bud Adams was very vocal in the fact that said, listen, he's not going to put up with losing seasons here. He's not going to wait for you 3-4 years to produce a winning product. He wants it right now.
I think what had most people alarmed about last season wasn't the fact that they lost games. There were a number of games where this team flat out was not competitive. Absolutely. Grossman, deep middle, and he's got Stallworth. Nice pass by Russ Grossman as he goes over the first layer of the defense and sneaks it in there for a first down.
Wow, Rex has been on fire. I mean,
that's my guy.
And again, Stallworth comes over the middle. And Keith, the Titans are running a vanilla defense. It looks like they were running a cover 2 coverage, and they're finding their spots in that coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. These young guys got to do a better job of looking up the wide receiver, especially at the second level with the linebackers. The safety, they need to get in the mix, make some plays, and this is the time and opportunity.
Keelan Williams stacked up and dropped. Guys, we talked about Mike Munchak and this being the first year we really felt like this was his team. We asked him about it.
I think we've been able to, Rustin, Webster, myself, have been able to kind of put together the type of team we feel we need here. I think we've done a good job with the draft, but now we've done a good job surrounding our draft picks and our core players with other free agents that came in and really fit in well so far. So, yeah, I am excited about it. I think this is, we let's need to find out. I mean, I feel we can go further than maybe people are thinking we can, and we have to go prove that, but I'm excited about where we're at.
That is Mike Munchak, the Titans head coach. 2nd down for Rex Grossman. He's Dante Stallworth all day, and he's got him for another first down, but we've got a flag on the play at the 30-yard line. It's in the secondary. Walt Anderson with the call.
Illegal hands to the face, number 29, defense. A penalty is declined, result of the play, completed pass, first down.
That's pretty easy to call.
Yeah, pretty easy to call, but at the same time, I like the mentality. The corner lined up, and he tried to get his hands on him. Things like that is going to happen. Helmets are going to come off. It wasn't intentional, but that's the coaching point. You like to see your DB get up there and play that press man.
First down, a short running play. Nice tackle there by the second-year man, Solomon. Interesting situation there. Scott Solomon, in his second year from Rice, was drafted as a defensive end, but with his physical attributes, they put him up on 2 feet, and they're going to have to play linebacker.
Yeah, and Mike Munchak said he's interested to see how he's going to play, how it's going to pan out for Scott Solomon. So he's going to get a lot of work. That's someone you guys can look for to make plays out here, because Mike Munchak and his coaching staff is doing that.
6'3", 263. That's a big linebacker.
Screen.
Bleedy Ray Wilson in the backfield. He helped bottle that thing up, and he got nice pursuit from his teammates, including Mike Martin there, as the Redskins will be dropped for a loss, setting up 3rd and 12.
And great identification for the Titans' defensive line. They felt like, okay, these guys aren't blocking as hard as they were a couple plays before. There's something up, so they sniffed out the screens to the wide receiver. Great pursuit, and that was one of the more positive plays I've seen this defense make tonight, because when it comes down to the basic plays in terms of the run game, they have been suspect at best.
Well, on 3rd and long, Solomon has dropped into the left defensive end position to rush the passer. And Grossman to throw, flag on the play, and the pass is caught on the play and taken down to the 5 and down to the 1, and he is in for a touchdown. Lance Lewis. In a jump ball situation, just made a play, but we've got a flag on the play. And we'll have to see if this one comes back.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 61 was uncovered on the end of the line. That's a 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So a break for the Titans, and that one comes back.
A lot of missed tackles for the Titans. Yeah, this play is negated because of the penalty, but the play is still sloppy. You know, you want to see guys make hits out here, and I think to Keith's point goes back to what he said earlier, is that they didn't have a chance to really hit in practice. And now we're seeing the rust coming off of these guys where they're not in hitting condition, and they have to get to that before the opener comes up.
Grossman to throw on 3rd and long, and we got another flag on the play.
It's the 3rd quarter of a preseason game, and it's really starting to look like one. There's a lot of laundry
Part of
on the field.
False start, number 19, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
I think they might want to punt the ball if they continue to keep going backwards on 3rd down.
The Redskins are doing the opposite of what usually happens. They are going in reverse.
So we're at 3rd and 17. We just had a Hayden Pantier sighting in the building. The star of Nashville in the house, wearing her own two-tone shirt.
Oh, nice. Hayden, where's she sitting? I can't find her. Let's see if you can find her.
The eats on Grossman. He unleashes deep middle, and it's almost picked off on the play by Tracy Wilson. And we've got a flag on the play that it might be going the other way this time.
Holding, number 67, offense. The penalty is declined.
Still going the same way. But the Titans decline this one, setting up 4th down.
Hey, man, why are you being selfish with the sightings, man? You need to tap somebody. Let somebody know.
He wants it all on his own. I mean, but this goes back to the crew, too, here, Keith. You know, we're looking at a replay of not even an interception. We should be finding the superstar and
I was trying to get a camera over there.
Can we get the camera angle on that?
I'm standing right next to him. All he has to do is bump me. Like, look, check it out.
You guys are rock stars. Don't tell me you haven't met people like that.
I haven't seen her.
You're a Heisman Trophy winner. You know
listen,
everyone.
I know my credentials. You don't have to remind me. I know who I am.
Wooten with the fair catch at the 16-yard line. Love you guys. 14-14. 5:05 to play in the 3rd. You're watching the Titans Preseason Network. 14-14, Titans and Redskins deadlocked with 5:05 to play here in the 3rd quarter on the Titans Preseason Network.
Hey, Corey, is that the young lady?
That is not her, Eddie.
Not her, okay. I haven't watched Nashville. I've never seen her.
You need to start. Let's take a look at how the quarterbacks
she looks like a
compare
superstar.
here shortly. They could all be stars. I mean, in Nashville, you literally never know. I was at Starbucks the other day with John Smoltz walked in.
Wow. Oh, nice. That is nice.
Darius Reynaud on 1st down. Dejon Gomes, another tackle, as Ryan Fitzpatrick remains. It is one of the benefits of living in our city.
It is.
You never know who you're going to see wherever you are.
I was getting a manicure next to Nicole Kidman years ago.
Okay, you just told me you were getting a manicure.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Come on,
do the words Heisman Trophy and manicure go together?
You don't get manicures?
Does it look like I get
manicures? It does.
All right.
You get the buff, too. Shiny nail polish.
The only thing you guys have that's shiny is your heads. 2nd and 9, Darius Reynaud.
My earrings.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Justin Hunter, the rookie from Tennessee, has entered the game. Let's take a look at our Hyundai quarterback comparison tonight. Rex Grossman, 10 for 21, 119. Jake Locker, 7 of 11 for 58. Jake didn't make any big mistakes tonight as they kept it pretty simple for him.
Yeah, 7 of 11. You just want to build confidence. Like, again, he was not stretching the field downfield, and that's not what they're going to do. They want to run the football, ball control, and allow Jake to build confidence by making the short throws.
Ryan Fitzpatrick standing in his own 15. 2 receivers to each side. Going out to the left, and that's the rookie from Tennessee, Justin Hunter, who retreats and falls short of the 1st down.
Well, that definitely was a rookie mistake because he caught the ball with enough yardage for the 1st down and he went backwards. So I don't know Yeah, nah, they're in a punting situation,
Yeah.
but he caught the ball, I think, and that's what Ryan Fitzpatrick is telling him, get the ball and go upfield.
Guys, they're gushing about his athletic ability.
He's a beast.
And how
grown
often
man.
have the Titans traded up to go aggressively get somebody like that, which speaks volumes as to what they think of him.
I see him getting an earful from Dialogue and telling him, look, catch the ball, get upfield. That's what we got you here for. But like you said, he reminds me of a Chris Henry, A.J. Green type wide receiver when you look at him.
Yeah, he was huge for Tennessee last year. Big year, big receiver, great athlete. And he's going to be a great addition for the Tennessee Titans receiving corps.
Punt by Kern, bounced loose, and the Redskins almost touched it. And they'll take over inside their own 35-yard line. So the Titans right back out on defense, still tied at 14. You're watching the Titans Preseason Network.
That's all you got to do is ask.
That's all you got to do is ask. See what you get.
Hayden Panettiere, star of Nashville, in the house.
She's feeling it too. Listen to the music. Yeah, they dance too, huh?
Second season on ABC.
Is that a good show? I never watched it.
It's a good show.
It shows off our city.
It's a good show. Shows off the city. It really does. It's a good show.
You just said you've never seen it, Eddie. Cut it
I've
out.
heard that my wife watches it.
She plays Juliette Barnes.
It's a good show.
And your wife, of course, in the music industry, should
Yeah.
enjoy that as well. LeVar Edwards, the rookie from LSU, with another tackle.
I think I need to make a guest appearance on that Nashville show.
You know,
you don't. No, you don't.
They do take local people and put them in
I'm
the show.
trying to tell you, it's not
very
realistic if, one of us don't go on it. Like,
All right, so what was your character? You'd be Keith
I'd
Bullock
be
doing
Keith Bullock.
what?
You could be her bodyguard.
I'm not going to be her bodyguard.
Second and 10 for the Redskins as the Titans are back on defense. I'm herding cats up here.
Yeah, I could be her love interest.
Pass over the middle. Al Afalava makes the tackle.
Let's get back to the game.
As he takes down Logan Paulson.
Good job, Corey.
Thank you. Thank you. New quarterback into the game is Pat White. Second year from West Virginia.
Pat White's he's a guy that is used to running that spread offense concept from the Rich Rod days at West Virginia. You can see him lined up in the pistol. Great athlete.
3rd and 5. Back over the middle. Great catch by the tight end for a first down. Logan Paulson. That's getting it done.
Get her done. Hey, that was a great catch. I mean, he made Pat White look spectacular, made himself look even better.
And he moved the chains, most important.
Right, but that's what you like to do, man. You like to see that a guy here late in the third quarter trying to make the team, trying to impress coaches, go out there and make a special play, and that's what he did. And they'll talk about that in his meeting room tomorrow.
4th year from UCLA. And the teammate of Akeem Ayers and Altron Werner. Royster hit at the line. Tracy Wilson sacks him up at about the 48. 50 seconds to play in the third quarter.
And we're seeing the Washington Redskins line up in that pistol formation. I think we're going to see more of that from a lot of teams around the league this year because of the success of Kaepernick and RG3, Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson. And I'm curious to find out if the Titans will implement that for Jake Locker because it is tough to stop if you have a running quarterback, and Jake can do both.
2nd down and 6. Pat White to throw again. It's on target and dropped on the play. Nick Williams can't hang on. Bleedy Ray Wilson with the coverage.
This cornerback position is supposed to be the battle of camp. And these young guys, for guys that are trying to get a spot, whether it's in the nickel or a starting corner position, they're not really fighting too hard. I like to see them get up there and challenge the guys a little more. You got to go out there and make a statement. Things just aren't going to happen for you. You have to go out there and make plays within the scheme of the defense.
Of the cornerbacks that you see, Keith, if you were on this defense, who do you like? Who would you want to play with on this cornerback position after this next play?
3rd and 6. White to throw again. It's on target and dropped once again. Not getting any favors there from Desmond Briscoe, and the Redskins will have to punt. Keith?
Well, yeah, I had the opportunity. I played with McCourty, but these young guys, Altron Werner, he's coming around. I like Tommy Campbell because of his size. Bleedy Bleedy Ray Wilson is the rookie who, you don't know too much about. That's why you need him to stand out. And Cody Sensabaugh, these guys have been here. It's time for them to take that step to the next level to become better football players and help this team, in essence, become a better football team.
Wooten will watch this one hit inside the 10 and down to the 5. Something about Bleedy Ray Wilson, his parents, both educators, has never missed a day of school.
Too bad for him.
What? Hey,
Never.
Speaking of school, my little man has school tomorrow, and he's missed a couple of days. But that's amazing. That's an amazing stat right there.
Could never be
Never
me.
missed. I tried to miss everything. I tried to miss school.
You went to military school.
That's why I had to go to military school. I did my best to miss school.
Hey,
You embraced education, though.
Later in life, yes.
Yeah.
Once I saw the benefits of it.
We all mature.
Yeah,
you
we
got like
do.
6 degrees now.
6?
Nah, I got 2 working on another one.
Okay, I'd like to hear that. I'm working on my master's too.
Yes,
So don't leave me out.
I'm the
You do
dumbest
your
guy in the
homework, though,
booth.
right?
Rusty Smith
that's
in
your
at
homework to do.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Hands over right guard. Jalen Parmalee across the 10 to the 12. And that will end the third quarter of play, and we are still tied at 14-14 between the Titans and Redskins. This is the Titans Preseason Network. Minutes left to play in Nashville, Tennessee. Corey Curtis, Eddie George, Keith Bullock at LP Field. With the Titans and Redskins are tied up at 14. We have had a scoreless second half of football. The Titans have it, 2nd and 4 at their own 12-yard line. Rusty Smith has entered the game at quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick is done. He was 3 for 5 for 23 yards. And a lot of people feel like Rusty Smith has had arguably his best camp, and he will get a quarter to show what he can do.
Well, a guy like Rusty Smith, he knows he's going to be the third quarterback, and he learns on the fly. This is the most reps he's going to get is during the preseason. So he's always got to be prepared to go in if Fitzpatrick gets hurt. But look, this is his time to shine, and let's see if he can move this unit.
Hands off on 2nd and 4, and that's going nowhere fast, but we got a flag on the play. Walt Anderson with the call shortly.
Offside, number 93, defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Philip Merling, the 4th-year man from Clemson on the penalty, and that moves the chains for the Tennessee Titans and gets them out of a bit of a hole. Maybe a chance for Rusty to drop back and sling it. And he will throw on first down over the middle. He's got his tight end for a nice gain. That's the rookie from Western Kentucky, Jack Doyle. He was a pretty good player at Western Kentucky. They got him as a undrafted free agent.
Well, what I like about that, seeing Rusty Smith in, we don't get to see him a lot, but you can tell the kid has poise. He understands what he's doing. He knows the offense. And usually those guys that are the third-string quarterbacks, they're just as useful as the offensive coordinator.
Another handoff, this one to Jalen Parmalee, who is close to the first down after 2nd and 2. Titans have only thrown for 79 yards tonight. And I know they've run the ball well, but 79 is not a number you're going to put your hat on.
Well, they haven't been stretching the field. I mean, they're coached to take what the defense is giving them. They're giving a lot of check downs and not taking too many shots down the field. And I think as the preseason goes on, we'll see that. And again, Dowell is trying to get himself in a rhythm as well as his quarterbacks to prepare these guys for the season.
1st and 10, Rusty going to throw it this time. Steps up in the rush, and Philip Merling wraps him up and takes him down for the sack.
And to add to your point, Eddie, Mike Munchak said that they were going to come out and run the ball. They want to establish their identity as a physical team that can run between the tackles like we saw Chris Johnson, we saw Sean Green, we saw Jackie Battle. These guys were running behind their pads. CJ did his thing, did the home run that we're all so used to seeing. And everyone got to see what Sean Green could do. He ran tough between the tackles, and he's going to wear defenses down as the season goes along.
And sometimes in situations like this, Keith, coaches will use preseason games to run one component of the game. So I won't be surprised they run to the passing game next week.
2nd and 12, that's not going anywhere.
Good football.
Jalen Parmalee stacked up, and it's going to set up third and very long. The Titans signed a couple of running backs in the offseason who they played against last year. Jalen Parmalee played with Jacksonville, had the best game of his career against the Titans. And then Jackie Battle scored a couple of touchdowns against the Titans last year with the Chargers.
Well, I guess they definitely knew what they were getting because these guys were able to have success other places. They did their scouting as far as the front office, Mike Munchak, and now they got these guys on the Tennessee Titans roster. And then also with the first team O-line, you want to get them as many reps also so they can get used to working with each other.
Rusty Smith slings it to the sideline. It's caught, and they're going to call it incomplete. And Michael Preston was on the sideline.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 92 defense. Forceful contact with the quarterback at the knees. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's Chris Baker with the call, so the pass is irrelevant. It'll move the chains.
Good throw and catch.
Great effort.
Good throw and catch.
And, you know, you think about that. Rusty Smith threw that ball only where his wide receiver could get it. He threw it to the outside on a comeback route, and that's how you teach the quarterback. So
here comes the penalty. That's a way to tear an ACL right there.
ACL, ankle, knee, whatever that may be. You don't want to see that.
First and 10, up the middle. Parmalee with his best run of the night. That goes for about 7.
And the running back position is an interesting battle as well. Because you've got Jackie Battle, who clearly is a opposing force. You can use him in a multitude of ways, and even on special teams, he can be an asset. Jalen Parmalee, we've seen him. He's running in between the tackles. Darius Raynard. Those guys are going to have to make this team and show value in special teams. That's the bottom line. That's how they're going to make it. They're not going to get too many carries, but we have to see how well they do in the special teams area.
Parmalee moves the pile again. I would say at this point, we talked about the corner position before. As we look at the running back position now, that guy right there is the one who probably impressed us the most after Green and
He's a grown man. Yeah, I like his style. I like the way he thinks when he gets the ball in his hand. He's looking to impose his will, looking to punish defenders. And, you know, and this whole issue with the crown, the helmet, running back outside the tackle box, it looks like he said, forget all that nonsense.
Yes.
You know, it is what it is at this point when I get out the open field.
What Eddie is referring to is there's a new rule this year, and there are 3 elements.
How they do it.
There are 3 elements that have to line up for this penalty to be called. A running back is no longer allowed to. That will move the chains and give the Titans a first down. When he's in the open field, outside the tackle box, it has to be outside the tackle boxes. He cannot line up a defender, lower his crown, and initiate contact. Those 3 things all have to happen.
He can't line up a defender.
Lower his crown.
If I see somebody, I just can't lower my crown. I can line him up and hit him.
You got to line him up straight on man, and put your crown of your helmet right in his chest. If it's to an angle, you're good. If your face mask is up, you're good.
But I can line him up, though. That's
you can line him up,
that's all I want to know.
But you can't lower your crown of your helmet. It's that simple. Rusty Smith going deep over the middle, and he's got his man down to the 30-yard line. Damian Williams making a play, and the Titans are making a move.
Absolutely. That was a great play-action pass. Goes through his reads, puts it right on the money. Damian Williams goes up, uses his big body to make that catch and haul it in.
Really like the way he went up and got that football.
Great throw by Rusty as well.
You mentioned Damian Williams, a great athlete, good receiver. Can he get some time? Can he get into this lineup? You know, he can only do it through his play on the field tonight.
First and 10. Parmalee. Damian Williams is a guy who's got really nice feet. He's a guy who in the end zone can dot the toes at the back of the line, and he's a guy who's a good weapon down there in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he has that nice long body. He knows the league. This is not his first rodeo. He's been in the NFL for a few years now.
4 years.
He understands the scheme. He understands where they want him to be, and that's what it is. And you got to take it one step further. The attitude, like Eddie's been saying all game, it's about attitude. It's about will. It's about, do you want to be good or do you want to be great? And, you know, this is your chance to prove it.
2nd and 10. Rusty to throw. He's going deep to the end zone looking for Michael Preston. And the ball is incomplete. The Redskins think they've got an interception. Richard Crawford went up and got it. just outfought Michael Preston for the football, and I have a feeling this one could get reviewed. Michael Preston looked like he was late to recognize that the ball was coming his way.
Definitely makes a catch. Let's see if he controls the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it came out.
His legs.
Came out between his legs.
He's got it.
That's a
He's
catch.
got it.
They might have to review that one.
He's got it.
But is it enough evidence to overturn the call? That's the question.
That's true. It was called incomplete.
Called incomplete. Catches it between his legs, but we can't see for sure if the ball, any part of that ball, touched the ground in between his legs. So we have to see. I think it's an incomplete pass. It's not going to be an interception.
Well, Mike Shanahan wants to take another look, and why not? 9:30 to play in the fourth. We've got a review. We're all tied up at 14. You're watching Titans preseason football. Mike Shanahan wants another look. 9:30 to play, and I can't blame him. We've argued this call, and we will take another look. Eddie says this is incomplete because they can't overturn it. Keith and I both say the thighs have it, and it's an interception.
They have it right here, but we can't tell in between. Right? See how he's capturing the ball underneath? We don't know if that ball touched.
Right, might not be enough to overturn it.
To overturn it.
They called it incomplete, so they might stay with that on the field. But what I don't like about that play is Preston is the wide receiver. They're throwing the ball to you, son. You got to know that it's coming.
There's 6 points.
Absolutely.
They're going to the end zone. Walt Anderson with the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. Washington will be charged with the first
Edward
timeout.
Nathan George.
This guy is celebrating because he got it right. Get out of here, man.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Get out of here.
You know that
this
I was
is
right.
what, year 5, 6, 7 for you in the booth with us?
Might be 8.
8.
Is it 8?
He's getting this thing down, Keith. This is only year 2 for you.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not going to celebrate getting the call right.
I'm going to celebrate.
3rd and 10 for Rusty Smith. He's chased from the pocket, sets up the screen to Parmalee. He turns it upfield. Nice run by Parmalee. He'll move the chains. First down, Tennessee.
Great call by Darryl Loggins. 3rd and long. You know, this third unit, they might not be aware that 3rd and long, screen, draw, I don't know. But hey, the execution was there by the Titans. And you see Parmalee fighting for those extra yards to get the first down.
He could have scored, actually, had he been a little bit more patient, allowed his line to come out in front of him a little bit more. He could have found some more lanes had he let that blocking develop. Rushed a little bit, but well-executed play to pick up the first down.
1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. Pass complete. Colin Mooney, the lieutenant, with the grab, and the Titans are in business. They've entered the Pinnacle scoring zone. Bank like a Titan and sign up for Titans checking exclusively at Pinnacle.
I'm sure Darryl Loggins and Mike Munchak are liking what they're seeing out of this third unit. Rusty Smith is driving them methodically down the field. Let's see if they can punch it in for 7.
Mooney, 5'10", 238, can play running back or fullback. And there's a fullback right now. That run will move the chains. Look at the rushing numbers for tonight for Tennessee. Chris Johnson, 30 yards per carry. That's not bad.
That's terrible.
Sean Green, 6 yards per carry. That's not bad. And then you see Jalen Parmalee and Jackie Battle. Battle also had a nice screen that he turned into a first down as well. So Parmalee, after a slow start, starting to make a push. 1st and goal for Tennessee. Mooney's the tailback. He's going to go play action. Rusty out to Quinn Johnson. Quinn Johnson has a Titans touchdown. Nice play action by the Titans, and the big fullback springs loose.
That's the benefit of running the ball effectively down the field. Play action comes underneath, back across the formation. Usually 9 times out of 10 he's unaccounted for, goes out in the flat. Rusty Smith finds him. Titans score.
I don't need to be negative, but the only question was he going to catch it?
Most fullbacks, you question their hands, but
once he did, you knew it was 6 points.
Well, that was great because 1, the Titans score. 2, they break the tie.
And it's 21-14 Tennessee, 7:48 to play. Rusty Smith, 5 for 6 on the drive. You're watching Titans preseason football. The quarterbacks getting together with Dow Loggins. They've manufactured 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 by ground, 1 by air, and the Titans have the lead, 21-14 with 7:48 to play. Thanks to Quinn Johnson's 9-yard catch. If there's one thing Keith Bullock hates, it's preseason overtime football.
Yeah, I love it. I personally love it. I love overtime football in the preseason because we have a chance to really see the grit, the heart of the team.
Chill out, bro.
In overtime. That's what you want. You want to know your calls. You want to know if you can find the guys that have the fortitude to go to another 60 minutes to get a win when it really doesn't matter.
Well, it's not going to happen tonight. The Titans lead 21-14 as the kickoff hits the crossbar. And the Redskins will take over 1st and 10 from their 20 when we return. 21-14 Titans on the Titans preseason network. You by Acura, and it is supplied by number 23, Sean Green.
Yeah, Sean Green laying the wood, being very physical, comes in from the Jets, doing what he does best, picking up the hard, tough yards, and finally going in for his touchdown unscathed, untouched. And if he can provide that type of running for the Titans, it could lead to a successful year for Tennessee.
19-yard touchdown by Sean Green. The Redskins running the football on 1st and 10. Doesn't go much of anywhere. Evan Royster taken down. And it'll set up 2nd down and long to go. Scott Solomon made the tackle on that play. So a 58-yard touchdown run. And a 19-yard touchdown run.
Oh, was it? I thought it was a 60.
He's got 2 carries for 60 yards.
Okay,
1 for 2,
yards.
1 for 58. Pat White completes another pass to his tight end, Niles Paul. That'll set up 3rd down.
These guys right here, they're in the game in this 4th quarter, these last 7 minutes. These are guys, because of the new CBA, they don't get as many reps in practice. You can't have double sessions.
Only 1 practice a day.
Absolutely. So the coaches don't get a good opportunity to really see what they got until they get out here. So that's why they simplify the defensive playbook, give them basic coverages, and let them showcase their talent.
1 practice a day.
3rd and 5. Pat White looking to throw. This one is caught, and that's a 1st down. Nick Williams moves the chains. Tracy Wilson on the coverage.
Laser of a throw by Pat White.
6 minutes, 13 seconds and ticking. Titans would like for this to be the Redskins' last time they touch the football.
Yeah, ideally you would like that to happen. But again, you got guys out here vying for a spot, and they want to see their best effort on these drives here.
Pat White keeps it himself, and he's got all sorts of real estate. Finally goes out of bounds at about the 50-yard line as he was chased down by Greg Jones. But that is a 1st down, and that is one thing we all know that Pat White can do.
Oh, he can definitely run it now. This pistol formation causes problems because now he's backed away from the line of scrimmage, and he can read 2 defenders. And in essence, you know, you have an extra blocker out there because the quarterback is a runner. It's almost like the Wildcat was with running backs, but now he can throw with the quarterback position. So that's why this formation is very difficult to defend.
All right, 1st and 10, another run for Royster. He's tackled on the play by Tig Willard at the 41-yard line.
And to add on what you were saying, Eddie, about the pistol and to, being able to defend it, as a defender, the offense has so many different options. Like you said, they can hand it, they can option down the line, they can fake handoff, fake option, and then do the drop back pass off of it. So as a defensive player, it makes you be in tune to all your keys, and you got to prepare for this offense.
Tig Willard just made that tackle. He's had an amazing camp before even camp started. I'll tell you about that after this play. On 2nd and 1. Lined up in the pistol again. Pat White going to boot to the left side. All sorts of room to run and pushed out of bounds. Tig Willard on his way to training camp from Myrtle Beach saw a woman and her family in distress. Car was on fire. She didn't know. She thought it was coming from the truck next to her. Flagged her, got her to pull over, and he and this man, Clint Dowdy, who's from White House, Tennessee, helped her and all her kids get out of the car, saved their lives. The car blew up.
Oh, my gosh.
Clint was given tickets tonight and honored by the Titans for also being a hero because Tig got a lot of national recognition for his heroics. Handoff again, down to the 30-yard line.
Hey, I was going to say, you see how Pat White rode the running back into the line of scrimmage? That holds the defense. That holds the defensive end. That holds the linebackers. You have to wait till you see where the ball is in order for you to commit.
And it's interesting that Pat White is running. This is what Washington is going to do during the course of the season. But the value of Pat White, we know he's not going to play, is that he can give the defense a look now for teams like San Francisco and Seattle and so forth. So that's the value of having a quarterback like that.
All right, that's Royster for another carry. Let's go back down to Don Davenport with the special guest.
Yeah, my special guest is actually new Titans tight end Delaney Walker. Not playing tonight because you just had your knee scoped, but since you've been on the sidelines, you've been able to see everything. What do you think?
I'm liking it. We put up 3 points in the first quarter, and that's just how you do it. When you want your team to show up, they showed up, and we're playing with a great philosophy and everybody understanding what to do.
I know a lot of excitement of you coming in with the loss of Jared Cook. Then you injure your knee, you got it scoped. When can we expect you back?
I'm thinking about 2 weeks. I'll get back on the field and probably play in the Atlanta game just to get my feet back in it and start understanding the playbook even more once you get live play. So I'm looking at 2 weeks, but there's no pressure on my back. It's just not me, it's the whole team, and they got my back, and that's the only thing I'm worried about.
8th year in the league, Mike Munchak said that you're a guy that creates a ton of opportunity, and you're exactly what they thought you were, and that's why they brought you in. You agree with him?
I agree with him, but like I told you, I'm a role player. Whatever the coaches want me to do, I do it, and that's why they brought me in. They know I can do multiple things. I can play receiver, tight end, and I can play in the backfield. So I'm looking forward to doing it all.
You have some opportunities here. Last question for you. For the fans that haven't watched you play closely, what's your strength?
I'm an all-around player. I don't think I just have one strong.
You're not going to pick one strong point?
I don't have one strong point. I do it all. I try to get 5 stars in every category. They're going to have to watch and see. I'll be on the field in 2 weeks, and they can tell me what they think my strong point is.
All right, we look forward to it. Thanks, Delaney. Guys.
2nd and 10. Pat White on the boot again. Pressure's on. Back across the middle and caught at the goal line. And in for the ball's loose. The ball is loose. We've got a flag back at the 35.
It's called a touchback.
And it looks like it's a touchback in the end zone.
Roughing the passer.
It looks like this one's going to move forward once we get this all figured out. First it looked like a Redskins touchdown.
Roughing the passer, number 72, defense. Contact high to the quarterback. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
All right, let's take a look at the penalty first, guys.
Yeah.
And here's the catch. Lance Lewis. And he definitely loses the football.
Well, it might not have been a catch either, but, nowadays you can't breathe on the quarterback. That's not acceptable. That last play, you can't get the hands in the face of the quarterback. You can't touch him. You can't hit him below the knee. You can't hit him in the head. And those are the rules that they're doing to protect the quarterback nowadays. So
the rules are plain and simple. And
you can't touch. You can't breathe. Touch the quarterback.
No, you can't hit him in
I'm
the
an
head.
offensive player.
You can't hit him in the head.
I mean, I don't think that was it was like a glancing blow to the head. I think what got the penalty is him coming down with his hands.
Right.
But I agree with Edward. They have definitely softened up the league a little bit, and it's for the protection of the players. And I'm just glad I don't play no more.
Well, it's also the concussion issues
Previous
too.
play is under further review.
They're going to take another look. That could be. Is it a
right.
no catch? Is it a touchdown?
Did I just say that about 2 seconds ago?
We've got a couple different ways.
They're going to celebrate again?
Go.
No, I'm not celebrating. I'm just saying I just have an eye for it.
All right, well, we're going to review this one. We'll take another look as we head to break. Titans lead 21-14 on the Titans Preseason Network. 21-14 Titans, 2:35 to play, and Mike Shanahan's Redskins are driving. We've got a review on a play at the goal line. And guys, to me, this looks like a catch. He's got it, 1-2, moves forward, knocked free by Khalid Wooten. And then Kadarin Anderson, just signed this week by the Titans, goes in and just rips it away from Lewis.
Looks like a catch to me. What you got,
Well,
Eddie?
Listen, you're the expert.
The review? You're the review expert.
No.
You don't touchdown dance, but you celebrate when you get a review right. Here we go. I can't wait.
Let's see.
I say it's a catch and a
Let's see,
fumble,
is it
and it's
complete?
still going to be Redskins ball at the 10-yard line.
Eddie says no catch.
Wow.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Oh!
Penalty will be enforced. It's first down, Washington.
Now Keith's doing a touchdown dance.
Yeah.
Little Billy White Shoes Johnson.
Why isn't
there.
it
There
at
you
the
go.
1 yard line though?
Because it was called a touchback in the end zone because it was
Okay.
recovered by Tennessee.
I got you.
The penalty at the 35-yard line is now
I see.
enforced, and it is Redskins
10 ball.
football.
Okay, I got
first and 10 at the 10-yard
Come on,
line.
bro.
I'm following.
Let's go, man.
Listen,
Come on, Eddie.
I didn't know that we covered in the end zone.
Well, that's what a touchback is, Eddie.
Listen, I didn't know the Titans recovered the ball in the end zone.
First and 10. Hand off up. Yep, Pat White's going to keep it himself. Runs through a tackler. Pushed out at the 9. Those are quick feet.
Very quick. And you'd like to see the defense be able to match the speed that the Redskins have out there on the field. We want to see the Titans win, and we don't want to see overtime. So let's get her done.
Keith never minces words. Keith actually called a game with us when he was a player in Green Bay. And it came down to the last play, whether it was going to be overtime or not. And he was sweating it big time because he didn't want to be in Green Bay anymore.
No way.
2nd and 9. White to throw. Pressure up the middle. He steps up. He's got all sorts of real estate. Pat White walks it in. He's got a Redskins touchdown. It's 21-20 with 2:23 to play.
I'm surprised they're not going for 2 here.
They may go for 2.
Yes.
Why not?
I like it. Mike Shanahan.
Go for 2.
You got
Go
the
for
number
win.
1 running team in the
And
league.
that's
You've
right.
got Pat White. I mean, this is a situation Pat White is made for.
And then
Absolutely.
also, you want to put these guys in adverse situations. You want to see them react. You want to see what you have out there.
Right.
So the Redskins will go for 2 after this touchdown. Nice recognition by White. In a wide open field. White was 3 for 4 on that drive for 27 yards. He also rushed for 34. So a good drive by the second-year man from West Virginia. Going for 2. He's going to throw this time. Flush from the pocket. Anderson with the pressure. Deep middle, and it's caught on the play. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Caught on the play by his tight end. And if I can pronounce this one right, it's a miracle. Emmanuel Oboyahi.
Well, I'll tell you what. Pat Wright is doing everything he can do to possibly get that second quarterback job. He's come out here. He's been very impressive. And if you remember last year when we went to Seattle, it was Russell Wilson who was the third quarterback who went in and impressed us. Not to say that Pat White is going to unseat RG3, but he's getting a good look, and other teams will see that.
But they also got Kirk Cousins as well, so he
Yeah,
could possibly. I think he's valuable.
You're right.
The third.
There you go.
That
That's why we
third
got you
guy.
here.
Yeah, he would be that third quarterback that when you play at San Francisco, when you might match up against a team that has that quarterback, that mobile quarterback, he can do that, give a defense the proper look versus getting some guy that played quarterback in college and is giving the defense a subpar look. So he can give you quality. That's why I think Vince Young went up to Green Bay for that very reason, to be that one guy to give them looks during the week if they play a team that's going to have a versatile quarterback, that they can run the spread option elements.
Well, they don't have any of that in their division.
Well, you think about the big picture, San Francisco.
But at the same time,
they got beat by that. Colin Kaepernick in the
great
playoffs.
point.
Green Bay's backup quarterbacks are obviously not doing the job as well, so they bring in more competition into that classroom.
They're always looking to replace everyone.
Yeah, not for long.
And that's just the way it is. So Rusty Smith needs 3 points for the Titans to get out of here with a win. Khalid Wooten from his own end zone to the 20. And a little bit more. Wooten to the 25. The Titans have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. We've got 2:16 to play. And they trail by a single point after Pat White's 9-yard touchdown run and 2-point toss. to Emmanuel Oboyahi.
You know, as players, like if we were down there and we're veterans and sitting back, this is when it gets tight. This is when you want to see guys come alive. You know, you see the extra effort. This is what I love to see as a veteran player, watching young guys battle and try to get a victory.
Well, Rusty's got a chance to win the game. In the gun, he goes right to Michael Preston. He makes 3 tacklers miss, and Preston's got a first down, and we've got an injured Redskin on the field. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. Take a look at this from above. It's Jeremy Kimbrough, a rookie from Appalachian State, who is on the field. And boy, he looks like he's in a lot of discomfort, guys.
Man, anytime you're kicking those feet.
Judging by the legs.
Anytime you're moving those feet. He's feeling a lot of pain right now.
Best play of the night by Michael Preston.
Very impressive play. I like how he came back to the ball. It was all 4 stops, meaning all 4 wide receivers ran stop routes at 6 yards. He came back to the ball. You like to see him turn right up the field, but look, he showed his playmaking ability. He shows that he can run after the catch, and that's what you look for in young wide receivers.
Michael Preston, I mean, he looks the part. 6'5", 215, out of Heidelberg. Here's the injury again. 47's the guy you're looking at. It's like he got his cleat caught in the ground and twisted around.
Or it looks like an upper.
Yeah, probably his shoulder.
Body, shoulder. Yeah.
Anytime you throw your arms out there like that, you know, you're leaving your limbs free. You can tear a shoulder, rotated cuff, something like that. You know,
dislocation. Yeah.
5'11", 240, so he's a thick player. But yeah, I guess it could be a pectoral.
Yeah. And then you talk about the receivers for this Titans team. They have a lot of big targets. You know, Damian Williams, Preston, the rookie Hunter, Kenny Britt. Those guys are 6'3", 6'4". So they can do some things to allow Jake Locker to have bigger targets. So once they learn the system, learn to fit in on the football field.
Right. And he doesn't have to be as accurate.
Right.
He can just throw it up there and let them be athletes and go get the ball.
All right, well, let's take a look at our Toyota play of the game. It got this thing started in a big-time hurry for the Tennessee Titans. Number 28, Chris Johnson.
18 inches of daylight. That's all he needs. You give him that much space, he's still lethal, still capable of making big plays in this league. Chris Johnson, 2 carries, his night is done, showing that he still has the speed to be one of the most elite backs in this in the league.
Before Chris Johnson, there was Gale Sayers.
Ah, you like that. 18 inches of daylight.
Kansas Comet.
Uh-huh.
You know, there have been a lot of great players in this league whose careers have been cut short, especially before the knee surgeries got a little bit more perfected. And you just wonder what Gale Sayers could have done with more than 5 years.
Oh, man. He was awesome to watch.
He only played 5 years?
He played 5 years.
I thought he played 9 years.
Nope.
5.
5 is in the Hall of Fame.
That's impressive. Think about that. That's impressive, even more impressive than it was already.
Celebrate the Titans' 15th anniversary and get the all-new line of Titans' 15th anniversary hats, tees, and even the 15th anniversary Titans game jersey. Go by the Titans Pro Shop by Gate 1 at LP Field or shop online at TitansLockerRoom.com. Speaking of jerseys, Titans are going to go back and wear those Navy jerseys twice this year.
The old school Navy jerseys.
What happened to them?
Well, they're bringing them back.
I feel like we used to wear them.
Yeah, but now they've gone to the.
But this is their primary.
They wear the Columbia blue now.
I got you.
That used to be our third jersey, but now it's the primary.
Right.
We are at the 2-minute warning. The Titans trail by 1. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Titans Network. Minutes left in the game. That young man hoping to dance his way to victory as the Titans trail by 1, 22-21, but they've got the football at their own 38-yard line. You should note that Rob Baronis is not dressed tonight, sitting this one out with a sore back, and so the Titans have a new kicker, Macon Banani, who may get a chance to try to win an NFL preseason game. Titans still have all of their timeouts remaining. Rusty Smith is a quarterback facing a blitz. dumps it off, incomplete. Darius Reynaud looked like he got into some traffic there in the backfield, but a good job by Rusty to just stop the clock and reset on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was a smart decision. You don't want to have a turnover in this situation. This is obvious 4-down territory, so they're going to go for it on 4th down, even if they get to that point. So it's all right to throw the ball away, and that's a smart move by Rusty. 2nd
and 10. Rusty looking to his right. Michael Preston again. He gets out of bounds. Nice job by Preston. Sets up 3rd and 5 in what is obviously 4-down territory for the Tennessee Titans at this point. Rusty's in his 4th year from Florida Atlantic. Set all sorts of school passing records while he was there. Became a father before last season.
Oh, congrats. You as well.
Keith again.
Me, not.
Keith's building a clan.
Yes,
Keith is done. Keith is good.
Rusty stepping up in the pocket. Dumps it off. He's going to move the chains. Really nice awareness by number 11, and we got a flag in the backfield.
Yeah. 78, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That penalty is going to go against Barry Richardson, signed as a free agent in the offseason. And now Rusty's got some work to do. It's going to be 3rd and very long.
It's something you always emphasize in the 2 minutes. On offense, you can't get sacked or give up penalties. And, you know, coaches go through that all the time.
So 3rd and very long. About 16. He's got time. It's batted in the air and incomplete. And another flag drops in the backfield. Brandon Barden enters the game, the former Vanderbilt Commodore.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 79 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's Daniel Baldridge in his 2nd year from Marshall. He's a really large man, 6'8", 325.
Like to see the Titans pull this out. See Rusty put together a nice drive. He's behind the 8 ball, 4th and 15.
Yeah, he's got to go downfield and either get a completion or some kind of call. See how many the Redskins bring. We've got a flag at the line of scrimmage. False start against the Titans.
Punt it.
But this is what happens because, as Keith mentioned earlier with the new CBA, these guys don't get a ton of time during camp.
They get their reps cut, and you know what really happens. Are they punting? They are punting the football.
They've got 3 timeouts left.
Yeah, 1:34 left.
To play.
Well, I guess they're going to play the field position game. Punt them.
They need 3 points. They don't need 7.
Pin them deep.
Timeout.
Absolutely. Hope to get a stop.
About 30 seconds to go. Yeah, and then they're going to run the ball.
Because if you turn the ball over here, the game's over.
Yeah.
So Brett Kern on to punt. It's short. He's had a busy night. 36-yard line. Nice return by the Redskins. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Sky Dawson. And that one didn't work out.
I mean, look, it might be time to kiss the baby.
Oh yeah, this baby's by the lapels is in the bed. It's put in the bed right here.
Even if the Titans do make a stop, they have a lot of field to cover. And, you know, obviously the Redskins, this is 4-down territory for them too, because they know that the Titans are going to try and stop the clock to get the ball back. But look, Mr. Shanahan has been in this game for a while, so wouldn't be surprised if you see them take all 4 downs.
Pat White will take and simply hand to Royster. He spins out of a couple tackles down to the 31-yard line. Mike Munchak will quickly take the timeout with 1:16 to play. Guys, want to remind you next week we'll be in Cincinnati when the Titans take on the Bengals, and that game will also be available on the Titans Preseason Network. We'll kick that one off 6 o'clock locally. Then next Saturday, after that, we're back here for the Atlanta Falcons and all those weapons on offense for a 7 o'clock kick. Then we wrap it up on a Thursday night in Minnesota to check out Adrian Peterson and company.
Ooh.
I wish we were going to Atlanta.
Another handoff.
I like their stadium.
Gain of about 2.
Beautiful, beautiful venue.
The Georgia Dome.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one they're proposing.
And the peaches are delicious too. I love Georgia
peaches. Nice.
One of the largest peach producers in the country.
Yes, indeed.
South Carolina, the largest peach producer in the United States.
Yeah, it is. South Carolina.
I'm mad you guys know this, but okay.
And I thought I wasn't the smartest guy here. So we've got 3 preseason games to go. Interesting, guys, though. They play 4 playoff teams in the preseason, and that's what you like.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good tune-up, especially with this team trying to re-identify themselves. They didn't have an identity last year. Well, the identity they had, they weren't pleased with. And it's great for them to go up against teams that have been to the playoffs, and it gives them some type of confidence or a barometer of where they are as a team after the game.
Well, the Redskins have just called a timeout after the Titans have called a timeout. And I'm
want to
not
make sure they get the right call in here, okay? This is very important that
It's
they get
3rd and
right.
3 from the 30-yard line. This is not.
St. Chess, fellas. I mean,
Do you if you don't make it, do you kick a field goal here, or is that
would.
too
Why
risky?
not?
No,
because
I go for it.
If
I
you
go
miss,
for it.
you're at the 40.
I go
and the
for it.
Titans are 25 yards from having a chance to win the game.
I'm using all of my downs.
Well, they are running the football, and Royster is going to move the chains. It doesn't matter. Royster has a first down, and that will be all she wrote. 1 minute left in the football game. And the Washington Redskins look like they're going to get out of Nashville with a preseason victory. Titans lead this all-time series 6-5. And they had won 11 straight preseason games in this building. So that ends a long and successful run of preseason wins here in Nashville.
I mean, you don't really hold too much on preseason wins, but they do mean something. It gives your team the confidence to know that they have a win under their belt, although it be the preseason, and, get you off to a good start of the football year.
And establishing a winning attitude from the start.
Well, that's going to do it. The Redskins have taken the final snap of the game. They will walk out the field with a 22-21 victory. Both teams obviously have seen things that they like and things that they don't like. That's what the preseason's all about. Titans fall to 0-1 with the 22-21 loss. We'll wrap up the broadcast after this.